Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to This Week in Wrestling with the Top Rope Renegades. Wow. Wow. We have a loaded episode this week for you. New champions, new craziness, all stemming from the previous week to the shenanigans that took place over the weekend to the fallout on Monday Night Raw and NXT, all coming with at you. Episode number 53 of This Week in Wrestling with the Top Rope Renegades. Can't wait to do it. Can't wait to break it down. Myself and RK's here. We're here. We're ready to rock. And yeah, we're going to play that intro video, man.
Yeah, well, y'all can blame Kurt for the 5-hour episode today. That's all Kurt's doing. And secondly, Ron Cena. Sounds an awful lot like Ron Kina, huh? They really missed an opportunity there. Ron Killings, Ron Kina. I mean, I'm just writing WWE stories now.
Quiet on set. Places, everybody. And action.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. That is RK, and we are the Top Rope Renegades here with episode number 53 on This Week in Wrestling. And as you heard in the opening, yes, you can fully blame me for this super long episode that is about to come out because I was enjoying Memorial Day cookouts and all that stuff that happens here. We had the Indy 500 here in
Is that the new NXT show?
What's that?
The Cookout? That's the new NXT special, right?
Yeah, no. Brian Alvarez callback right there when he thought the Cookout was a new what was it, a weekly special was what he called it. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. But yeah, gonna be a long one here. We have the previous week to get through. Saturday night's main event, NXT Battleground, the fallout on Monday Night Raw, and NXT after. And I'm very happy we are including the fallout because holy shit, we have can't wait till we get to it. That's all I'll say. If you didn't see it, if you don't know, I'm sure you know, but we're gonna break it all down, give our opinions, and talk about it.
If we could go back through all our episodes, the amount of stuff that I predicted coming true, it's ridiculous. JC Jane, I called it.
RK's batting 1,000. I'm just being honest. I'm just a voice here. RK is like the mastermind behind everything. And what I mean by that is our cold opens are mastermind by RK, and just so happens that WWE is watching them because they're taking them and they're doing them. And yeah, dude, you're on fire. I don't know. Did you put an app in? Did you put a job application in?
We don't talk about behind the scenes things. No leaking of stories to the dirt sheets. Sorry.
Oh, we're gonna get into that in the news in just a bit. I'll just ask this question before we do the 20 questions of the wrestler. RK, is AEW fine?
They're fine. They're fine. Nothing's wrong. They're fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine. Alrighty. Let's get into it. We haven't done this in a while. Bringing it back. The 20 questions to get the wrestler. I will go first. RK follows after, and I'm ready to rock. RK, is your wrestler a male?
Yes.
Yes, he is a male. Is he currently active?
Yes.
Is he active in the WWE?
Yes.
All right. We're yeses. I'm not keeping track of how many questions I've asked, so you're gonna help me with that in a minute. I've asked 3. Anyway. Okay, so active in WWE. Was this person active in the WWE in the 2010s?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So still active, been going since 2010s. Has this person been a world champion?
Has this person been a world champion?
In the WWE. Sorry.
No.
World champion in the WWE. No. Okay. All righty. Okay.
By world champion, I mean
Interesting.
top tier championship of either, world heavyweight, WWE champion, or NXT champion.
Yes, I do. Yep. Correct.
Okay, correct.
Okay. All right. So no, it's not held the big dog title. Has this person been the? Let's go. Let's bring NXT into it. Maybe they drop down. I don't know. Has this person been the NXT North American champion?
No.
Because I just recently found out there's been quite a few NXT North American champions that I forgot about. So it's just, it's a shot in the dark there. All right. This may sound dumb. Is this person a singles competitor?
50-50.
That kind of helps me, actually. So that leads me to think this person has been a tag team champion, maybe. I'll just ask it. Has this person been a tag team champion?
Yes. You asked a bad question there, though, but yes.
That was a terrible question. I'm going to go on a limb just to ask here. Has this person been in AEW?
No.
No. Okay. Oh, shit. I've really kind of... All right. Male. Tag team. Has this person won the United States Championship?
No.
How about the Intercontinental Championship?
Nope.
Holy shit, dude. Okay. So just a tag team champion. Has this person wrestled in TNA?
Yes.
Is this Xavier Woods?
No.
Whoa. Oh. All right. I thought I had that one there. Whoa. Never been world champion. He's been a tag team champion.
Was never been world champion in WWE.
Okay. Has this person been TNA world champion?
I'm going to give you that one for free, but no. I was fucking with you, but...
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. All right. My head's kind of racking here. Never been a singles champion in the WWE. That I recognize. Like, I'm not going to ask you 24/7 champion or anything stupid like that because everybody held that fucking thing. It's tag team champion. That's a lot of people. Is this Chad Gable?
No. Remember, you only asked if they were a tag team champion, not where they were tag team champion.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
See, you got to be careful with your questions, Kurt.
I do, man. How many questions am I at?
You're at 14.
Fuck. I'm not gonna know. That's the thing.
See, we thought it was a little. We've been nailing them in like 6 or 5, 7 questions recently. I'm like, let's just let's just make it a little bit harder for each other. And obviously, we've done that. So, and also, I've just picked a really hard wrestler to figure out. So,
currently active though. That's
currently active. Yep.
Part. Has this person been a tag team champion in the WWE?
No.
Wow. So this person's won nothing in the WWE.
Nothing. You're correct. I'll give you that.
Wow. That wasn't even a question. I think. Well, I've already narrowed that down. Whoa. I'm not gonna get this, am I? Is this person of Hispanic descent?
That is actually a good question. No, although because he was born in the States. As for his history, I don't know. I would say maybe. No, he's not. No, he's a Guido all the way.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Is that racist? I don't know.
No, it's not.
Think Tony Montana.
That's think Tony Montana. All I want to do is guess Tony D'Angelo. I don't know why.
No. Is that a question? I'm going to give you that.
No, it's not a question. He's won the North American title. I know that.
Okay.
Damn. Somebody may have already got this. I doubt it with the stupid questions I've asked. I think I'm going to start throwing names out. Is this? No, because he's Guido. He's and is this Otis?
Otis is like fucking Russian, dude.
Guido. Oh my god. Hold on.
When did Otis get into any realm of Tony Montana?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not even gonna accept that as a question.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That just makes me look like a dumbass, so it's fair. 1-0. Nothing. This may sound like a dumb question.
Well, no, he's won stuff, just not in the WWE.
That's
Again,
fair, but
questions.
I know. But I don't know any other. I probably would fucking know if I asked the questions correctly, I guess. Has this person been in New Japan?
No.
Fuck. I asked.
I'll give you a hint, but it's not going to help you at all. But he was ranked 66th of the 500 best singles wrestlers in 2012 by PWI.
That's not going to fucking help me. So, but he was in TNA. You did say that, but he wasn't TNA.
He has spent a lot of time in TNA.
Okay. Wow. How many questions am I at? 16?
16.
Oh my god, dude.
He has gone by multiple names throughout his career.
That's fine. That doesn't do much for me. He is active in the WWE right now.
Yes.
Okay.
By active, do you mean wrestling weekly or wrestles once in a blue moon?
I mean, he's on the roster.
He's on the roster, yes.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna break it down that fucking hard. Trust me, he's not wrestling fucking weekly. Okay.
Yeah, we've established that. Yes.
What the shit?
I was a dick with this question with this guy. I just wanted to be so.
That's fine. That's fair. Because it's not. What the fuck? I'm thinking Tony Montana. I'm just trying to think. Wait, is this? What's his fucking name? Is this Vinci? Is this Giovanni Vinci?
No, and he's not active in the WWE.
Did he get fired?
No, he definitely got fired. They gave him a whole fucking fancy V-net for like a month, and then they had him job out 2 matches and squash matches when he got back.
For some reason, I'm spacey. I never saw his name released.
He was released, yeah.
Well, there's fuck.
Like early this year, like January or some shit, he was released. He was like releasing that first big wave of releases this year.
Fuck, man, this is tough. Is this? Oh, you son of a bitch. Is this?
I'm gonna be super nice and give you the most obvious hint in the world at the end, so you're gonna get it.
Where am I at? 17 questions asked.
Yeah.
All right, question 18. I'm really just gonna, I think, throw a name for the next 2 because I'm lost right now. Is this Ludwig Kaiser?
No.
He's
also
German.
not Guido.
Guido's Italian, yeah.
Well, yeah, Italian American.
Yeah.
You know, they reside usually in like Jersey, Jersey Shore, those type of characters.
Right.
I'm not
So-
saying for sure that he is Guido, Italian American. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
assuming from his look.
What he looks like. That's fine. And that's what I'm thinking in my head is trying to find a Guido. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. But like he's not done anything. Like, he hasn't won anything
In WWE.
in WWE. I get that. Now that's what I'm really basing this off of. And he's been there since I don't know when, but he was there in the 2010s. And he's still active.
Yes.
So it's like who's on the sideline that doesn't get much time? Don't really see him. Clearly, I don't think we see him much.
No, we see him.
This is active on the roster as a wrestler, correct? You can count that as a question if you want.
Yes, I'll give you that because you already asked this question. Yes, he's active on the roster as a wrestler.
Okay. I'm just making sure we're not throwing out like he's a backstage guy sometimes,
If you go to active WWE wrestlers, he's on the active list.
Is this Nick Aldis?
No.
Nick Aldis was TNA champion. God damn it.
Okay. Some would say his non-best friend is Stevie Turner.
You picked Robert Stone?
Yeah.
That is a dick move. That's such a dick move. I didn't get that in 20. That didn't count. I didn't get that. I was not going to get that without the hit.
I don't think I give
What?
it to you on the 20th.
What?
He's active. He's wrestled recently.
Yeah.
He's on TV quite a bit.
Yeah. He's won nothing.
He's been the 2-time TNA Tag Team Champion.
Okay.
With Jesse Goddard. He's been the TNA X Division Champion 1 time. He's been the TNA Television Champion 1 time.
Okay, Stone. I see you. Okay. All right. I did not go that deep lore with my. Imagine I picked Stevie Turner. I didn't, but yeah. Fire away.
Oh, is this wrestler female?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this wrestler active in the WWE?
No.
Is this wrestler active in AEW?
She is.
She won the AEW Women's Champion? Is that the big one? Is that the one that fucking Tony has?
Yes. So you're talking about the one Tony has?
Yeah, the main Women's Champion.
Yeah, she has.
It's not a lot of those.
No, you can just start ripping off names. You'll get there.
Was this wrestler dating Adam Cole?
No, I've done Britt Baker before though.
Have you?
I did.
Okay.
I have her card. I think I just saw it too. Yeah. Wait,
Has this wrestler been in WWE?
No.
Okay.
Okay, there it is. Found her. Britt Baker.
Main WWE champion.
Huh?
Never
AEW.
main AEW, never in WWE, so it's not Tony Storm.
I wish Tony
Fuck,
Storm
I honestly don't know. I don't know that many AEW Women's Champions. Come to think of it, Thunder Rosa.
No.
Who has won the AEW Women's Championship? We got Chris Stat. Is it Chris Statlander?
No, I don't know if Chris has. I'm gonna look that up though.
That's what I'm. Yeah, I know. It's not Chris Statlander. It's not Thunder Rosa. Who else has won that damn title? Willow. No, Willow hasn't. They give no love to Willow.
Chris.
No, Willow has. No,
Chris is not.
Chris is not. Has this wrestled in Japan, like New Japan or Stardom or some shit?
Yes. World. Yeah, Stardom. Yeah. Yep.
Stardom. Who? Does she currently have visa issues getting back into the company?
Not that I know of. No.
Okay. Then
Willow
it's not.
Nightingale has not won the AEW. Then it's not.
So it's not Hikaru Shida.
I didn't even know she was having visa issues.
Yeah, she's currently Kenny Omega is watching her cats.
Fun fact. All right.
Yeah. Holy crap! New Japan Stardom.
I don't even know how many questions you're at. I figured you would have got it.
Mariah May.
There she is.
Okay.
You got it, Mariah.
I was like trying to think. I was trying to hum in my head. Has she been in Stardom? But she was because of her history with
Mina. She was
yeah.
tag champ with Mina in Stardom. I thought you were gonna get it when you brought Tony Storm into it. Like right from Tony Storm, I thought you were gonna, Mariah May.
Crazy fact. Hikaru Shida has been 3-time woman champion in AEW.
Yeah, she was not the first. Riho was the first.
Hikaru was the third.
Riho was the first.
Nyla Rose was the second.
Yeah. Yep. Then Shida. Yep.
Was I right about Robert Stone being a Guido? I would say so.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Yeah, once I got there. I wasn't even thinking NXT on that. I was thinking AEW. Or, I'm sorry, main roster, Raw SmackDown. I don't know. That's where I was at with it. And then, boom. Out of nowhere.
Okay, I got a surprise segment for you.
Okay.
I got this from people doing this on TikTok and shit. It seemed fun, but we're gonna do blind rankings. We're gonna do blind rankings.
Oh, is this the one where you tell me a name and I put a number, but I can't move it? I can't change it?
You can't change it.
Oh shit. Okay.
You get 5 choices, and we're gonna go through the titles of wrestling. So we're gonna start with the ultimate title in wrestling, the WWE Championship title.
Okay, so this is
the best 5 WWE champions. You got 5 spots, blind ranking.
5 WWE champions?
The WWE Championship. It'll be all champions.
Okay, got it.
Okay. 1 through 5, blind ranking. I will start off with The Rock.
Okay. The Rock. As WWE champion, I mean, this is going to be a cop-out. I'm going to put him 3.
3. Okay, you got The Rock at number 3. Next up is Randy Orton.
Ooh. I'm okay putting him at 2.
2?
I'm okay putting him at 2.
Okay.
But I'm worried.
Next up, you got Brock Lesnar.
4.
4?
This is going to get scary.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah, this is going to get scary.
You're doing good so far.
I got 5 and
John Cena.
1, he's the GOAT.
Okay. You're going to like the outcome of this because I have last Jinder Mahal.
Yes! Oh, come on.
I was hoping that you just put Jinder Mahal above fucking Randy Orton or shit.
I like that list. That's a good list.
Yeah. So I thought, we'd kick it off, do a little once a week for you, do a blind ranking.
Oh, do it again. Give me another one. That was fun.
I'll give you you want another one? I'll give you another one.
Yeah, do it more. Let's do one more.
Okay, I'll give you one more. Let's go with World Heavyweight Championship from 02 to 13.
Okay.
So the big gold. The big gold, the original big gold.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. What do I got here for you? I got let me just move this over to here. Okay. Big gold, original WCW that got transferred over from 02 till 2013. Let's go with Edge.
Okay, 02 to 13. I mean, 4.
4. The guy who has held that title the longest out of anybody, you put at 4. Okay.
4.
Okay.
4.
4? Okay.
4.
We got Batista.
Now remember, this is a personal ranking too. Like
This is personal, yeah. This is personal.
Because for some reason with Batista, I'm putting him at 2. And the reason I
Okay.
put Batista at 2 is just because I just will never get over the iconic big gold around his waist and the fucking pyro.
Yeah. Okay, next up is The Undertaker.
Ah, shit. I think I'm gonna handicap myself again here, and I'm gonna put him at 3 and leave 1 and 5. That might be the
3.
meta here. Yeah.
Okay, next up
'Cause
is Triple H.
Oh, I'm gonna hate myself because I'm gonna put Trips at 5. Who's my number 1?
Alberto Del Rio.
Hey, cancel the show, bro. Cancel the show. We'll record tomorrow. Nah, fuck.
You just put Alberto Del Rio as your number 1 big gold world heavyweight championship of all time. How do you feel, Kurt?
I thought Randy Orton's name was gonna be on there. I thought Randy's name was gonna come up. Fuck. God damn it. If I was doing him,
let's
if I was redoing him, I would probably go Taker, Batista, Edge, Triple H, Alberto Del Rio.
if you knew, but that's why we're doing blind rankings.
Yeah, I like those. Those are fun.
Okay, so WWE Championship, you have Jinder Mahal at number 5. Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar is number 4, which is fucking wild. The Rock at number 3.
So,
I'd have Brock over The Rock, honestly, but
personally, The Rock's my guy.
number 3, The Rock. Number 2, you have
Yeah.
Randy Orton, and the number 1 all-time WWE champion is John Cena.
I was okay. I'm solid. I like that list.
And then for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, which became just the World Heavyweight Championship in WWE as of 2002, it lasted for 11 years till 2013. You have Triple H at number 5, Edge at number 4, Undertaker at number 3, Batista at number 2, and you have the all-time greatest World Heavyweight Championship of all time, Alberto Del Rio.
It's a good list. What Alberto did for the community, he's a good guy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep going with the bit because that might get clipped somehow and bite me in the ass. I'm good. We're not that popular, but for some reason that could be the thing to make us popular. This stupid son of a bitch said Alberto Del Rio is a good guy, and the next thing you know, we're popular for the wrong reasons.
Hey, no publicity. No.
Yeah.
Bad publicity is better than no publicity.
It's true. Holy shit, I just looked up into the sports world on my TV and Oklahoma City is beating the fuck out of Minnesota. Oh my god, it's 44-20.
That's wild.
Let's talk about wrestling, shall we? Let us keep it pushing. Long episode building, but we got the rumors, the innuendo. It's the news. It's the hit piece with RK, and here are the headlines from May 19th to the 25th, and maybe some more sprinkled in. I assume maybe got a couple more from the past few days.
Maybe.
Yeah. But there is some fun stuff to talk about, and it starts with Dave Meltzer said, "What? This could be a segment in its own right on this show.
It really could be.
If writing the narrative to support your own bias was an Olympic sport, Dave Meltzer would win the gold medal every time. Whenever NXT was pummeling AEW in the ratings, it was, well, the numbers don't include Max's streaming numbers and all this. But then when AEW finally, somehow, magically, miraculously, pulls out a win one week, not one mention of Max's numbers. Then, if that rating drops back down, it's not sure if it's great news or shows that AEW fans wanted to watch the NBA playoffs more than AEW Live. Top it all off, forgot the fact that AEW isn't beating NXT on a regular basis. Sorry, forget that. But Dave believes that AEW Dynamite pulls as many viewers as a Monday Night Raw with the addition of those max viewer numbers. I about had a stroke.
I think
reading it.
Raw last week drew 2.9 million viewers. I don't think there's fucking 2.3 million viewers on Max.
And Raw actually had a low number recently. They had a record low or something.
They were like 2.1, but they've been hovering around 3 million for most of the year.
Yeah, AEW's not hitting that. It's not.
No, but Dave says it is.
I forgot. We take the word of Dave Meltzer like it's God or whatever.
I mean, I got some news today that says that maybe he even starting to piss off Brian Alvarez.
Brian, he just wants to go to a cookout, dude. Is NXT failing? News out of WWE this week has NXT's May 27th show, which we just watched last night, at Tampa's Yuengling Center being canceled due to low ticket sales. They moved it back to the Performance Center. Let's not talk about the fact that NXT's Battleground has outsold. It did outsell AEW's Double or Nothing in ticket sales. Yeah, that means NXT's failing probably. But what about the fact that AEW has had to book smaller venues all year because of their overall poor ticket sales arcade?
Yeah, they're fucking killing it. I mean, yeah, WWE's they didn't want to put 1,700 people in a 11,000 seat arena. At least they have enough sense to go, hey, let's get it back to a place where it's going to look good on TV instead of having 3/4 of the stadium tarped off.
Yeah, I mean there were more people at Battleground than Double or Nothing, so
hey, they're just developmental though.
That's the thing. Why is AEW's mindset all focused on NXT and beating a developmental brand when AEW is supposed to be where the best in the world wrestle? What are you?
I think AEW is just they're not.
Your competition, your main competition, you should be worried about is fucking TNA.
AEW fucking neckbeards for the last 5 years have gone. WWE doesn't take AEW seriously, and they're you have one too. You're a WWE neckbeard, but no, you're fine. You trim it up. You look clean there, bro.
I cleaned it. I cleaned it.
You're clean. But anyways, AEW neckbeards have been clamoring for the last 5 years that WWE doesn't take AEW seriously, and that's going to bite them in the ass one day. And now that WWE is going, yeah, we're going to book 3 shows head-to-head with your biggest show of the year just because we can. And all the AEW neckbeards like, why are they doing that? It's like, you wanted WWE to treat AEW like competition. Well, now they are.
You wanted to smoke. Now you're getting smoked. Tony Khan went on national television and said there's only room for one Khan in the wrestling industry. And
he likens himself to the WWE when Jim Crockett was trying to bury the WWE. You're not the WWE, and WWE isn't Jim Crockett. The WWE destroyed Jim Crockett, and now they're going to destroy AEW.
They're destroy. Yeah, I mean that. I think they will. I truly don't think AEW is going anywhere. Maybe, depending on what T.N. Turner feels, but
there's a certain owner of a football team that has a lot of money to give to his kid. Apparently,
your funds aren't going anywhere. But yeah, no, I'm good with this. It's annoying. Is AEW going to have to change their slogan? Big question being posed here on the Top Rope Renegades hit piece. Where the best wrestle? More like where the benches are the warmest. Scorpio Sky spoke up this week that he's been healthy for a long time and doesn't know why he's not been on TV.
An AEW original, day one.
His best guess is that it's related to an interview he did with Chris Van Fleet last year. He thinks someone in AEW maybe has a few issues with some of the things he said. I'm sure they do. It would also raise the question to a couple of screenshots that I sent to you today, where somebody asked Deonna Purrazzo if she was going to be on TV, and she said probably in picture-in-picture. I said, what? And then you have.
But it was like a year and a half ago that Tony Khan was like so excited to announce the signing of Deonna Purrazzo's All Elite.
The next one, and I had her as my 20 guess the wrestler, just because it's pretty topical right now with Mariah May and potentially her contract expiring. But she posted a video of her hotel room that she was like going around with, and
she's not fucking leaving the AEW. She's signed for like another 5 years.
Yeah.
Why can't you guys just see that she's AEW for life?
Right. And a fan screenshotted the video, and with the caption said, Mariah has been given a lesser hotel room in Chicago compared to other AEW members. Mariah quoted this tweet by saying, "What's new?"
Well, that might be just the discrepancy in women and men in the workplace, but
maybe. But I think there's more to that. I genuinely think when all of the stuff came out of Mariah being a fan of the WWE, she's always been a fan of the WWE, and it became so public and it made so much traction and noise that Tony didn't like it. And well, I think it's also the reason that they quickly put the AEW Women's Championship back on Tony Storm, because they don't think Mariah May is sticking around. And ever since Mariah May lost that title to Tony Storm, have we seen Mariah May on AEW? I don't know, because I haven't watched.
No clue. I haven't watched it.
But I don't think she's appeared, because I do get a scroll through X and I see some updates, but I don't think she has. And I think Mariah May is fantastic, and I do think she's gonna pop up here.
Hey, you can have a Tiffany versus Timu Tiffany match, or a Mariah versus Timu Mariah match,
or two fantastic women in the ring at the same time. Mariah May's last
questionable. Tiffany's better as a heel, but anyways,
100%. And just to clarify, just to make sure I'm not wrong here, AEW Revolution 2025, that was March 9th of this year, was her final recorded match on Cage Match.
It's almost 3 months ago. Isn't she staying for the next 5 years?
Yeah, I don't know the exact specifics of the contract, but I thought there were rumors that it was up in the summer.
No, it is up in the summer, but there's some AEW losers out there that say, nah, she's signed for 5 years. She just signed. It's like, well, everybody else says otherwise, so I'm pretty sure you're wrong. Yeah, and if she was signed for 5 years, she wouldn't be on the bench for 3 months. Oh, she's just on vacation. Well, is she Will Ospreay afraid of the grind? Come on, she's young. She's hungry.
She's like, I think she's 26 years old.
She ain't afraid of that grind like Will Ospreay is.
There was a tweet that somebody said to her on May 27th, literally yesterday. Somebody said, "Girl, stop being unemployed and come wrestle, please." She said in all capitals, "I'm on vacation." For 3 months?
3 months vacation? No, I don't think so.
That's a hell of a vacation. It's a hell of a vacation. All right, I got nothing extra to add. Normally, I have some stuff going on around on the other brands, but really nothing. Other companies, New Japan's schedule is kind of just pushing towards Osaka, Joy Hall, Dominion, and then prepping for for the G1 Climax stuff. TNA, they're pushing Climax for their next PLE, which I think is Under Siege. Nothing has been announced for TNA Under Siege due to the fact that there's been a pretty big change in the TNA world. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And I do know AEW's Double or Nothing happened over the weekend. We did not watch it. If you care for the updates, I'm sure you can go find them. All I know is Jon Moxley will be facing Adam Hangman Page at All In. And I think you're going to have news on a situation that happened with who you'll probably talk about it. So I'll let you take the ball here. Run with it. Let's get the news, the rumors, innuendo.
What, you're talking about that thing from Fightful where they said that nobody knew the finish of the match until the weekend of the talent anyways. And then it was said that Ospreay was pushing for Hangman to win, but Hangman was pushing for Ospreay to win. And whenever Tony was asked about it by the talent, he would just play it off and not answer the question. And then it was said that Jon Moxley pushed for Hangman to win. Once again, letting the inmates run the asylum isn't always the wisest choice there, Tony. And then Eddie Kingston posted on his social media that was leaked. That wasn't supposed to get out, and called somebody a jerk off because of it. So
I asked the question before.
They're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. All right. I believe you.
Everything's fine. What question do you ask? Is everything fine?
Yeah, that was the question. Is
Everything's fine.
Okay, yeah, you got it. Cool.
In the news, Sheamus told the Daily Mail that he pitched himself for the Intercontinental title picture at WrestleMania, but obviously was shut down. He still does want to go for the Grand Slam, though.
I think he should get it. I think he deserves it. It's crazy when you really think about how long Sheamus has actually been there. He's done his
we looked it up, 2007, right?
2007. Yeah. He's been there. He's done his due diligence. He's awesome. He's a Hall of Famer. Sheamus is a WWE Hall of Famer. And I think giving him the IC title is a big moment. And I think he should get it at some point.
Yeah, agreed. I wasn't
just gotta
watching
have the right story
for most of his run, but I mean, multiple world championships. Yeah, and he's super popular.
Beat John Cena in a fantastic TLC match, if I remember correctly.
Conan claimed on his K100 with Conan and Disco Inferno podcast that he was originally supposed to work with El Grande Americano, but it never came to fruition.
Do you believe him?
No, not for a second.
Okay. He's doing a podcast with Disco Inferno. All right.
And he has also been critical of WWE over the last few years. So I don't see that.
They may like him a little bit more because he turned all his hate towards AEW now.
He has, actually. It's been great. It's been noted, but as we found out last night, that she is back. But it has been noted that Jasmine Nix has been pulled from in-ring action in NXT, but it's unclear why, and hope she will be back soon. You alluded to that last episode about something at Disney World happened with her boyfriend. My understanding is she's injured, and whether she's cleared from injury or not, she is back in.
Yep, she showed back
in a TV role at the very least.
She didn't get active. She just got pushed.
It's been said that Cody Rhodes is in the plans to headline a major WWE show in Mexico. Nothing has been scheduled or confirmed yet, but it's believed to be relatively soon.
It's a very interesting one, depending on what happens. Coming up at Money in the Bank with him, and the partnership with AAA is interesting. Going head to head, maybe with a AAA star.
That show's already fucking gonna turn it out.
You're talking about Worlds Collide, right? Yeah, that is going to be insane. But the show in Mexico, I assume they're going to incorporate AAA.
So probably 100%. I mean, AAA. No, that's CMLL. The whole reason apparently WWE was interested in CMLL, they were in talks, but CMLL wanted WWE to buy the arena that they wrestle out of or something like that, and that's what broke apart. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but we're here for rumors and innuendo anyways. WWE has filed a trademark for the King of Luchadors ahead of their recent trademark filed where there was like the King of Lucas. And I think they just fucked up on the trademark filing and filed it properly this time. But
somebody spelled, makes you wonder if they're going to do like a luchador style King of the Ring.
Well, the assumptions are that it will be used in relation to the AAA acquisition or El Grande Americano or both.
I'm worried now that El Grande Americano is going to win a tournament of luchadors and be crowned King of Luchadors. And that's going to go over swimmingly with the IWC.
He's from the Gulf of America.
Yeah, that's their hero.
TKO owned On Location is selling tickets for a meet and greet at Worlds Collide with Rey Fénix, El Hijo del Vikingo, Psycho Clown, and Pagano, which has led to speculation that they'll all be working the joint AAA and NXT show in Los Angeles on June 7th. That has already been confirmed that they are actually all going to be in matches, as we found out this week. And it's no longer branded as AAA NXT, but it's branded as AAA WWE, which makes sense. So they got like Chad Gable going there, Rey Fénix, and that stuff. So it makes sense. And NXT is really just part of WWE in the whole.
Right.
I mean, on average, and as we saw last night, NXT blows WWE waters out of the show most often than not.
Oh my god. And Worlds Collide, you mentioned it. That could steal the weekend. That could be a better show than Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank's awesome. It's fun.
That's gonna be hard to believe because it's the ladder matches, man.
But yeah, you're right. But damn, the
But
talent
it's gonna
that's
be
on
up
that.
there. It's gonna be so good. The X account for the movie Queen of the Rain posted and deleted that their movie was the movie the WWE doesn't want you to see. They then replied to a follower that WWE tried to block us from running TV ads during Raw, and backed out of a sponsorship deal, which they said were just two examples of WWE's sabotaging behavior towards the film. They also later in the week claimed that Vince McMahon personally pulled Charlotte Flair out of the movie because it was a small independent film, not a major studio release.
Were they filming that while Vince was around?
Yep. Takes years to make a movie, dude.
I know that, but I feel like it's been so long.
Vince, we only started this whole thing like a year ago, and Vince was only outed from the WWE like a year ago.
Yeah, that's true. Holy shit. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Maybe.
It sounds like they're upset about something because they've been posting a lot of stuff on Twitter about that.
Drama.
Again, any publicity is good publicity, so they're just probably, trying to get.
Latch onto the name of the WWE, it'll take you somewhere.
Also, the movie wasn't bad. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Damian Priest has been getting a ton of praise within WWE for his toughness lately, especially with his hard-hitting matches with Drew McIntyre. Yeah, they've definitely been hard-hitting because Drew McIntyre is officially out with injury. He has apparently been working injured for the last month. So,
was there a specific part of him that's hurt, or
it was the table spot? There was a table spot at Backlash, I think it was, that he got injured on.
Was it his? What was it?
I don't know. They just said he's out with injury, relating back to a table spot at Backlash.
Well, what if it's his back or something?
There are rumblings internally within WWE that NXT Europe will finally be getting off the ground later this year.
Yeah, we'll see. NXT UK, similar. NXT UK failed pretty bad. I mean, it did. And I don't know. But with the WWE ID program and the indie connection that they've been building, I do think it's got a better shot of succeeding on NXT Europe. I think it does. Especially if they really dig deep into Europe and those indie scenes over there are crazy. So, I mean, if they can ID some prospects and whatnot and do all that, it makes me think it'll be similar to Evolve in a sense, but in Europe.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, some great talent came out of fucking NXT UK. I mean, you got Gunther, you got Ilya Dragunov. Hope he's back soon.
I'm not knocking NXT UK. It just failed.
100%. There's a wrestler I follow on Facebook. Her name is Succubus. She does OnlyFans and shit, but that's not important. She posts a lot of stuff about wrestling. She owns like she runs a wrestling school and stuff out of London, I believe. Anyways, nonetheless, I follow her on Facebook. She's awesome. She recently posted a thing about NXT Europe, and that said that if that does become fruition, that she'll definitely try out for it and try to get on it. And I don't know, she's the clips that she's an indie wrestler, so it's indie stuff. But I mean, there's just something about her that there is a bit of charisma to her that I think if she was given a legit shot, she might make it somewhere.
I mean, yeah, I think so. London, in England, and
I think Europe deserves. That's what I'm trying to get. Europe deserves to have
something,
something that will give them a better shot of catapulting to mainstream.
A developmental building of a sense. Like if you plop a PC in England or something, I don't know, but I think that'd be good. I mean, think about all the talent.
But yeah, anybody watching this, if you're also a fan of Succubus, shout out to her. I think she's got a future. Obviously, that probably wouldn't be her name in WWE if she ever made it one day, but that's her name now. And I don't know. Shout out to her. I think she's, from what I've seen on Facebook and the wrestling clips she shows, and she just did a show in Korea, and I think she's fantastic. And I think she, if she was given a shot, she might actually be able to do something. So
yeah, good for her.
Mansoor was on one this past week. Fightful Wrestling posted a scene from Shrek where Shrek was wrestling against the Lord Farquaad's knights, and he replied to the post with the following: "Unsafe green piece of shit gets brought in as a new monster heel, proceeds to stiff and take liberties with every underneath guy on the roster. Throws away all his heat by playing to the crowd so much they had to improvise and turn him, only for him to jump ship to FFA. Fuck him." He just cut a promo on fucking Shrek.
It's so good though.
And he wasn't done there because someone commented on that first post by saying, "Bro is mad at Shrek when this motherfucker exists," while attaching a photo of the very early costume of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man when he wrestled Bonesaw in the first Spider-Man movie. Mansoor responded to that with the following: "This fucking yarder. Worst look I've ever seen. Don't forget Human Spider cut a homophobic shoot promo on Bonesaw and his husband in the middle of the match. Then he cried about his PO despite going under time and refused to drop the belt. Hope his uncle gets killed in a mugging."
So good. It's so good.
In 1 week, this motherfucker cuts a fucking promo on Shrek and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Great promo work, man. He killed that.
Good stuff. Roman Reigns is in talks to play Akuna in the Street Fighter movie. Akuna is a boss-level demon character that was introduced in 1994 video game Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
You think he could play that role?
It's not big enough. Akuna. I'll show you a picture of Akuna.
No, I saw the picture. That's why I'm asking, because I saw a lot of people saying, "Really, Roman?"
Yeah, I don't. It's. I don't know, man. Let me just see here. Let me just see a good picture of it. Actually, you know what? Maybe. Let me just present this here quickly. Maybe.
I mean, CGI is a motherfucker. They could probably help that out.
Yeah. No. Maybe. I mean, he's got the oofalafa around his neck already, so I mean,
those look more like Oba's things around his neck.
But anyways, yeah. So that's in the talks. Hey, good for him if he does do it.
Yep.
It is rumored that a pitch has been made for Sheamus and Rusev to feud that will build on their shared history, as we found on Raw this week. That is going forward.
Yep.
Big news out of the past week and a bit: WrestleMania 42, the show in New Orleans that The Rock came out on Bad Blood for, hyped the shit out of.
It's coming back.
Has been canceled and moved to Las Vegas for a second year in a row. Hey, but WWE has announced, in lieu of that canceled event, that New Orleans will be getting to host Money in the Bank at the end of August in 2026.
Yay. New Orleans is like, nice.
The amount of money that was made in Las Vegas is probably what's running that.
It had to be. Vegas was probably like, holy shit. Come back. We'll pay. We got money.
We'll pay. We'll pay you what we think we're going to make, plus, you know.
And New Orleans is probably sitting there like, okay. So you're like, here's money in the bank. Yeah, let's just take away a week long of wrestling and money to the city. Yay, we got money in the bank.
A late summer Money in the Bank too.
Interesting. That's interesting.
They went from primetime April WrestleMania to a late August Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Money in the Bank this year's June. So,
like, you see the people online, they're like going, already booked hotels that have no refund clauses for WrestleMania. It's like, well, that sucks.
Damn, you got bread like that?
Don't be booking hotels a year in advance.
I gotta save for that shit. The only reason I went to Royal Rumble is because it was in my backyard. If I'm doing shit like that, I gotta save. Like, what? You got bread? All right,
dude. If actually we should go to Las Vegas next year.
All right.
We should go $1,000, put it all in red if we win. We go to wrestling.
Oh, so you're saying just go to Vegas with no tickets, put 1,000 on red.
That wouldn't get you much. I think that's what, 2 to 3 payout or some shit.
I don't know. It's not enough to go to WrestleMania.
No. We got to go to WrestleMania one time in the next 10 years.
That's a deal. That's a deal. I think we could do that. The best bet is for it to be right here in Indianapolis. That's the best bet.
The best bet would be for it to be in Canada.
Well, I do want to come to Canada. I do truly want to go to Canada too.
If it was like in Vancouver, hopefully be in Vancouver outside of like going to Toronto. Toronto is not. I don't.
Well,
like
let's just be. If it's in either of close enough ish to our homes, it's a lot cheaper for one or the other. All right, because you got a place to stay if you come here, you know, and like transportation and all that shit. It's handled. If we're like meet me in. I mean, I could do Florida. We could do a Florida Mania. I ain't
Florida, maybe like a Seattle Mania.
Never been to Seattle. That'd be cool.
You said I sent you pictures of the beautiful landscape around where I live.
Oh yeah, no.
Washington is basically the exact same fucking thing.
It can't be no like Vegas. That's no. I'm not going. I ain't got bread.
Have you ever seen Vegas, like an aerial shot of Vegas? It literally just stops and it's all desert.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Just like just a city, just a square city in the middle of the desert, and all around it just stops. You know, like
I mean, yeah, like the Mania that's going in Minnesota. That could be.
I have wanted to go to Minnesota.
That could be something.
And around that time there'd be hockey too, so we catch hockey.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Unless they were on a road trip or some shit.
But either or. Because it's gonna be where the Vikings.
I mean, Minnesota's close to Detroit. We could go visit Vinny.
Yeah, I'm all right. Nothing against Vinny. I'm all right. I'm not going to Detroit. I'm from Indiana. We don't get along with Detroit people. You know,
I'm Canadian. I don't get along with any of you all right now.
That's true. That's true. Trying to think of other decent states that would
honestly. Just to avoid all of the hassle of trying to get across the border and shit, Canada could become like the 51st state for like just the 2 months around WrestleMania, and then we go back to being a country because then I could just go.
or we just go to the one if they do it in London. That's how we do it. We just
just go to London.
We'll just go to the UK.
Actually, you know what? London's cool. London's cool. I've been that way once in my life.
I mean, it's hard for me not to sit here and say if it's because it's coming. WrestleMania is coming to Indianapolis. Like, I gotta go.
I heard like 2032 though.
I might be dead, but like
we might all be dead by then.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, no, we're gonna catch a WrestleMania. We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
We'd have to like plan it like as soon as we hear it announced, like the year in advance or some shit. We'd have to start like right then and there, make that plan. Yeah, we'd have to commit right then and there.
You have to, and I'm almost tempted to say if Royal Rumble comes to Vancouver or something too. That's one that's dope too.
I can't believe I had him miss out on Survivor Series.
That's tough. That was tough for you. I know that hurt.
They'll come back. They do. They usually come around this side of the world once a year. So
I only freaking did the Royal Rumble because really I just felt like honestly it was your fault. Really,
why was it my fault?
You're a dumbass if you don't go.
You are a dumbass if you didn't go.
Well, I'm not a dumbass.
It's right in your backyard.
Because I went.
And was it totally worth it?
100%.
Did you have a great time?
I mean, yeah, I could have won money though if John Cena would have won the Royal Rumble because I was in Kyle's Royal Rumble pool and I would have won $200 because I drew the number that he came out at.
Yeah, that made the whole experience so much fucking worse.
Yeah, I mean, I said hi to Nick Khan. That was pretty terrible. I had a really cool guy on the floor that let me go down there for free to get beer. That sucked, you know. Because I would have
blaming it on me. Your problem's on me.
It is
believed that Zoe Stark.
None of it was a problem.
It is believed that Zoe Stark has suffered a significant tear in her knee that will require surgery and will probably sideline her for all of 2025. She has since had surgery. She posted on Instagram either today or yesterday. Day one of recovery is now in the books. So wishing her a speedy recovery to all the assholes online saying, "Oh, she'll be released next" and all that shit. Fuck off.
She's
The
talented.
fact that you take any pleasure in somebody else's pain and misfortune makes you a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people. There's a couple people though. Like Alberto Del Rio, he could get hurt. I don't care about him.
Not to play devil's advocate or anything, but has anything ever been proven in the court of law? Anyways, nonetheless, it is thought that Goldberg's retirement match is tentatively scheduled to take place in Atlanta, Georgia. Saturday night's main event is scheduled for July 12th in Atlanta, going head-to-head with AEW's All in Texas.
I mean, that makes sense for that because that'll get a draw. People will tune in. People will 100%.
If they announce
tune in.
Goldberg is that Saturday night's main event on the
Yep.
same day that All in Texas is happening.
Yep.
Hey, remember though, WWE is subjecting themselves to empty arenas because they're going head-to-head with 2 nights of Beyonce in Atlanta on the same weekend.
Yeah, man, you're right. Because like that's what I was thinking in my head when Royal Rumble came around. If Beyonce would have been performing, I mean, would I have bought?
I think
Royal
we
Rumble
did a
tickets?
poll of 1,000 wrestling fans and said, "Hey, would you rather go to Saturday night's main event or Beyonce?" I think I'm gonna be conservative here in this. I'm gonna say about 999 of those fans are gonna say, "No, I'm going to wrestling."
All of them. Don't be that. Don't know. All of them. They're all
You
going
never
to
know.
Saturday.
There might be one Beyonce fan.
Tickets are cheaper too, probably for Saturday night's main event.
Hell, if I had tickets to WrestleMania and Shakira was playing the same night, I'd have trouble making that choice.
I'll smack you.
It is expected that WWE.
I love Shakira. I love some Shakira, but no WrestleMania. Come on.
It is expected that WWE will be running more major events in These Hips Don't Lie, Las Vegas going forward.
Yeah, they're about to have.
They must have made a shit ton of money. A shit ton.
They're about to have like a fucking like residency, like like artists do in that motherfucker. They're about to move everything there. Like, watch the NXT Performance Centers getting uprooted from Orlando. It's going to Vegas.
That's actually already been talked about more than once in the history past.
Is a terrible idea for the young people that are turning 21. That is it's already a reality show in Orlando. You don't think it's going to be worse than Vegas? That's a terrible idea.
Vincent Winey would be moving through women faster than he
Yeah.
currently is.
No shit. No, he's locked in.
It has been confirmed that Chelsea Green did indeed get her nose broken in the Zelina Vegas match, but is not expected to miss any time as it was a clean break.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. She's a pro.
She's gonna play it up like motherfucker.
Oh, fuck yeah.
There was talk of using JC Matanza for Jeff Cobb's new name in WWE as an inside reference to his Lucha Underground days, but he apparently did not like the name, so they went with JC Mateo instead.
Do you think he wanted to stay Jeff Cobb and they said no?
Probably, but it's WWE. I mean, Ricky Saints, Trill London.
Yeah. Well, Ricky's reasoning for wanting to do the full change, I got and understood. Because Saints, he's from New Orleans.
Like he's gonna come out in an interview and say, "I fucking hate the name."
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they told him, listen, you're Thrill London or Ricky Saints. Which one you
want? It is said that Ace Austin was offered a new deal by TNA, but he turned it down to get into a larger company.
Oh, I don't know if WWE takes a shot on him.
If he's going to AEW, he'll fit right in to sitting on those warm benches. It is thought that Bronson Reed was added to Seth Rollins' faction as they needed a guy to take pins in the group's losses moving forward so they can keep Seth and Braun looking strong.
I don't agree with that for some reason. I don't know. Like, I feel like all three of them, they don't need to take pins anytime soon. Like, they just need to run through everybody. And
there'll be losses. You can't have you can't have them destroy. It's not Goldberg winning his first 189 matches.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, come on. in tag matches, I mean, I guess you're right, but I don't know. I feel like Seth could take the fucking pins.
No. Right now, your leader, the Vision faction cannot have
Yeah,
your
that's
leader
true.
taking pins.
The only one I really say don't take the pins is Braun Breaker. That's it. The other
100%.
two,
That man should never take a pin in his life.
right?
Yeah, something as we alluded to earlier, Brian Alvarez. Something's wrong with him. I think something broke in his brain. I'm not really
That's what
sure,
happens when you hang out with Dave Meltzer too long.
but he did a post on Wrestling Observer Live. Yesterday, I spent the whole day talking to all sorts of people in AEW. I will say with one exception, because if I say everybody, then you know. But it was actually everybody. Every single person was like, these shows are too long. We all know it. They should end before midnight on the East Coast. Every single in the company that I talked to, except Tony, because I didn't talk to him, because of course he doesn't think they're too long. Every single person there is like, they're too long. He just does it. We can't stop it. There's nothing that can be done. The shows are too long. Everybody knows it except Tony and a small handful of sickos that would watch the show if it were 9 hours long.
That's not very pro AEW, man.
No, it's not at all.
Dave
I'm
Meltzer
sure
was
he had
pissed.
He had
Dave
a
is
stern talking
pissed.
to, afterwards. I'm sure.
Dave was like, "You want to fucking do the show with me? You better fucking watch what you say." Stupid.
Oh, you already brought this up, but another AEW benchwarmer has taken a jab at AEW and their booking strategy. Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah.
Mariah May is definitely not leaving the AEW. Stop
No.
being a Fed about that. It is thought that WWE was absolutely interested in talking to Willow Nightingale had she not re-signed with AEW.
Man, I'd have loved Willow in WWE.
Willow's awesome. I think Willow does not get enough love in the wrestling industry.
Mm-mm.
It was said, and remember, Uncle Dave said that he just had the flu. That match where he threw up 18 times in it, but it was said that Hook was still getting evaluated at Double or Nothing, and that's why they had him not do anything other than hitting a guy with a golf club during Sunday night's Anarchy in the Arena match. Nearly a month later, he's still getting evaluated. He just had the flu, though.
You know what that sounds like to me, right?
A concussion?
A fucking concussion. Good lord.
Because somebody dropped him on his fucking head?
Dumbasses.
Jonathan Coachman, complete
No.
maniac online, is claiming that he is hearing Travis Scott flaked on doing the tag team match with John Cena at Money in the Bank, and he has not been training with Booker T.
Okay. I thought you were going to say the other part of what Coachman said.
What else did he say?
That he thinks Vince McMahon's going to be trying to buy back all of the shares.
Yeah, I had that here. Sorry. Vince McMahon is 100% going to buy back WWE.
Jonathan Coachman said this, yes.
Today, I mean, he sold the company for $9.3 billion. Today, WWE is evaluated at $8.6 billion. And currently, if you go look online, Vince McMahon is only worth about $3.6 million.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of money here recently.
It is said that there were creative discussions regarding Asuka at the beginning of the year, but that was considered too early, and it's still uncertain when she'll be cleared to return.
She ain't cleared.
Apparently not.
She's having fun, though.
Oh, she's living the life. She's doing what she loves to do, video games and shit. It is noted that there are a lot of banged up wrestlers coming out of Double or Nothing, including the Young Bucks. That's smart business. Have all your top wrestlers out with injuries all the time.
Did you see some of the stuff from that match?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did learn that the crowd can only count to 4, which makes sense.
Yeah. All I know is, of course, people got hurt. The fuck?
Yeah, they're stupid about it.
What do you like? I don't get it. Like, what is the appeal of stapling somebody's tongue? Like,
hey, it's only cool when the WWE does it. Like
AEW does it.
No, WWE. AEW doesn't do it cool. Only WWE does it cool. Did you not see all the comments about the Ethan Page, Ricky Saints chair spot? all the AEW neckbeards were like, "Oh, it's so cool when WWE does it, but if AEW does it, it's unsafe." Man, it's like, what?
No, Hangman Adam Page stuck needles in Swerve's fucking gums.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
Ethan Page did was hit a fucking finishing move through. I mean, it was devastating. I mean, yeah, but also I guarantee it was prepared safely.
That bar broke really super easily.
So, like, come on.
And Ricky Saints was doing his best impression of Ricky Steamboat with that selling. My God.
Oh yeah, come on.
Mick
about
Foley
that?
told the Wrestling Classic. Go ahead.
What was the? Yeah, remember that unprotected headshot? Fucking Darby Allin and the chair was shaved down. Horse shit.
No.
Horse shit.
If you know when a steel chair is gimmick is when they hit somebody with it, it like bends in half. That chair did not give at all.
Flush. It was like The Rock hitting Ken Shamrock with a chair.
Oh
Flush.
God. Yeah, I remember
not
that.
Bad. Not that bad, but damn near.
Mick Foley told the Wrestling Classic that he had a secret meeting with MJF about a retirement match last year that never came to fruition. Foley said he loved the ideas MJF had for what would have been a 6-week program.
Mick, don't stop. We don't need the Ric Flair stuff. Ric Flair's
I feel like Mick Foley would have still given it his fucking all in a match.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have looked good. I don't think it would have looked good.
Hardcore matches don't
have to make them look
good,
I guess. But I feel like Mick would try and do something that would make me go, no. What? I mean, he always did this shit.
That's why we love Mick Foley.
At his age now and the shit he's put his body through, why you want to do it one more time? I get it, because love of the game.
That's his love for the fucking business.
You know what? Then fucking do it. Jump off of a Hell in a Cell again. Fucking do it. I don't care.
I mean, it probably would have been better than what's currently going on with the Hurt Syndicate. Anyways, that's it for the news.
I haven't keeping up with the Hurt Syndicate or nothing like that.
MJF is an official member of the Hurt Syndicate.
I did hear about that. Why? I don't understand. Obviously.
Oh, I'm sure there is a reason.
There's got to with MJF. There probably was. I think there was a build, but I don't recall seeing much about it. What else is going on in the AEW world? Yeah, I got nothing. Mercedes Moné won the Owen. She'll be facing Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Title.
Also, thank you for bringing that up. What a disrespectful fucking song to play during what is officially a pay-per-view for the finals of the Owen Hart tournament. Let the bodies hit the floor. Come on.
I mean, yeah, that was for the Anarchy in the Arena, but yeah, that's a little.
The Owen Hart tournament, the Cup of Hearts,
finals,
and you have that song playing. Come on.
Yeah, that's a little distasteful. I know. There was no intention behind that. They didn't think that one through, but yeah, that's tough. I hate that, by the way. I don't get that. Why they do that? They did it with one previous with Daniel Bryan. They just let the song keep playing while everybody.
Yeah, it's the final countdown.
And they were still. I'm like, what are we doing? Yeah. All right. Well, that's the news. The rumors in the hit piece.
Hey, simple minds like simple things. Hence why AEW does have some fans.
With that being said, God damn. All right. Mic drop. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be breaking down all the action. When I say all the action, I mean all the action from Monday Night Raw a week ago all the way to last night's NXT from Tuesday, May 27th. A lot of wrestling to talk about, a lot of wrestling to get into, a lot of opinions to be had. Stick around, stay tuned. We will be right back on this episode of This Week in Wrestling. In the eyes of a ranger. No, I'm kidding. I'm not doing that. Welcome back to episode number 53 of This Week in Wrestling. I was trying to do the Walker Texas Ranger theme with the staring into the eyes of John Cena, but I was trying to like make the lyrics different from Walker Texas Ranger.
Are we talking like Jared Padalecki, fucking Walker Texas Ranger, or like Chuck Norris Walker?
Chuck Norris. Chuck
Okay.
Norris. In the eyes of a ranger. Oh, I fucking used to watch that show for almost school every morning.
Okay.
In the eyes of a ranger on you. Oh yeah, the duties wanna see. When you're in Texas, look behind you. That's where the Rangers gonna be. Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw comes from the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina last week. The WWE is in full swing of getting things set up for Money in the Bank, which is only just shy of 3 weeks away. Saturday Night Main Event is already set up, so not a lot to do there. So it's time for some triple threat qualifiers.
Yeah, you said it best. It's crazy that you repeatedly said it to me a couple times. You're just like, wrap your head around it, Kurt. Like, we're getting just pay-per-view after pay-per-view. You bam, 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 bam. They're just throwing them.
Well, it's money. It's literally like Saturday Night's Main Event was just after Backlash, and then you got Money in the Bank, and then you got Night of Champions like 3 weeks after that. Then like 2 weeks after that, you got freaking Saturday Night's Main Event again.
And then Clash in Paris, right?
Clash in Paris. That's at the end of August. SummerSlam is at the start of August.
Yeah.
It's
non-stop.
Specials.
Non-stop action. So, yeah. Alrighty. We get a look at what happened the previous week. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman. Logan Paul, though, is going to come out to get things going. He gets right to the point, saying he will be your next World Heavyweight Champion. He will beat Jey Uso on Saturday Night's Main Event. The Yeet chants do kind of get to Logan here, but he goes on about how he has knocked out Uso quite a few times, and he's ready to do it again. And then Gunther's music hits, and I got very giddy like a child, and I was like, yes, this is good. Logan Paul knows, though, that's not good. Gunther thinks that Paul's statements make him sound confident, and that it is what drives them in life. The people here should show Paul some respect. Logan is a bit nervous, but he starts, all right, Gunther's on my team here. Talks about Logan's successes and says he could learn from Logan. And Logan is over the moon for this, who is willing to talk to Gunther anytime. Gunther can imagine the headlines if Logan does become the World Heavyweight Champion. And Paul says, Gunther, you know business. Gunther says, well, this may be business to you, Logan Paul, but to me, this is personal. Taking the title from Jey Uso is personal for Gunther. Just ask Pat McAfee what he does to non-wrestlers. At least Pat showed some heart. But if Logan wins the title, Gunther will eat him alive. Eat him alive.
Pat knows. Pat knows. He acknowledged it. He's like, yeah, no, I'll never do that again.
Gunther goes to leave, but Logan starts talking trash about Gunther for some reason. Why he would do that, I don't know. And then he gets surprised with a super kick by Jey Uso. And of course, it's time to yeet. We get a look at Julia and Roxanne kind of arguing and breaking up after their loss last week. Julia saying we are not partners, and she is up out of there. We get a look back at Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson's face-to-face on last June's episode of SmackDown before they are set to play in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. And ladies and gentlemen, as it stands, the Indiana Pacers are leading that series 3 games to 1. Yes, sirs. Pacers. That boy Tyrese Halliburton. 3-1 for the Pacers. Jey Uso runs into Paul Heyman, who wants to give Uso some facts. Everyone says that Heyman betrayed CM Punk and Roman Reigns, which means stabbing them in the back. The fact is that Braun Breaker is facing Uso in a non-title match tonight because it's not about that title. Instead, it is about breaking and slowing Jey Uso down so Seth Rollins can easily win the title.
Yeah, that Logan Paul talking shit to Gunther just seems wild.
That's what I say. With his music hit, I was like, let's go.
Gunther, I love Gunther. We all know that. A fantastic old school heel type wrestler, and it works. Opening match of the night is a tag team showdown between Penta and AJ Styles, taking on Finn Balor and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day. This match worked really well, like really good. And that's really no surprise of these four really talented wrestlers in the ring. The Judgment Day coming away with the win, albeit with a little help from El Grande Americano. It was a nice little surprise. As going into this match, I did not have them winning. Fantastic way to open the show, though, with a top-tier match with top-tier talent, and they all fucking cooked.
Yeah. Put those four in a ring together. They're going to have a good time. Make good matches there. Good magic. Io Sky. She is ready for anyone. She has said this multiple times. Ready for anyone. So whoever wins Money in the Bank, be ready. Becky Lynch cuts her off to remind her that, hey, Io, you've never beaten me. Io's like, bitch, I don't care about you. I'm the champion. Go on somewhere. I'm ready for anyone. Seth Rollins, he interrupts Logan Paul, who's trying to get the hell out of there. Rollins says Jey Uso is going to get hurt tonight, and that means Logan has a better chance on Saturday. If Logan gets past Uso and Gunther, Seth says he will be waiting for him.
Yeah, it's kind of wild that Logan Paul's getting a lot of talking action in here with some very big names.
Logan did say he was sticking around on a more full-time basis.
That's good to see. I honestly think Logan Paul will be champion one day, and he'll be well-deserved because he has taken to the business like a fish to water. First Money in the Bank qualifying match of the night is next with Becky Lynch, Roxanne Perez, and Natalya facing off. Happy 43rd birthday to Natalya, by the way. I love being right. This match continues to show that I usually am. No way was this rivalry between Becky and Lyra done, and this match helped continue that along nicely. Roxanne Perez winning here continues to show, WWE has a lot of faith in her, and they're booking her as the next big thing on the women's roster. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if she comes away with the Money in the Bank briefcase at the end of it all.
Ooh. Yeah, I can't wait to do predictions for that, to be honest.
Yeah, all the competitors in the match really got rolling, and Becky Lynch kind of, not Becky, but Lyra kind of screwed Natalya out of the win here in this match.
Yeah.
So,
she did. She was beating the shit out of Becky the whole time. Lyra, or what was it? Natalya was setting up for the sharpshooter, and Lyra was like, no, she's mine.
But yeah, this was a good match. It worked really well, and Roxanne Perez winning was a nice little surprise. So.
Yeah, I'm ready for the predictions once we get the full list of contestants for that match and see who's all in there. And a lot of people are saying, well, Rhea's in it, she might win it. I don't think Rhea needs to win Money in the Bank, but Roxanne definitely makes sense to win that. So look forward to Money in the Bank here in a couple weeks. Sami Zayn, he comes in. He's seen talking to Jey Uso, telling him to worry about Logan Paul. Zayn will deal with Seth Rollins and company. He has Usos back tonight if the numbers do come into play. We get a look back at John Cena beating Michael Cole from 2012. I read the next line and I almost broke character. Yeah, Cena beat him on Raw in 2012, and Cole says, yeah, that's not quite as embarrassing as Heidenreich. If you don't know Heidenreich and Michael Cole's interactions from way back, I'm going to spare the detail. You just go look it up. They were really pushing the boundaries with that situation. Glad Michael Cole's still sticking around though. He really, I guess, earned his keep per se by going with that storyline. Anyway, Kira Tozawa, he's gonna face Rusev next week. Chad Gable comes in to promise destruction, and Tozawa with Maxine Dupree leave. With them gone, Chad Gable wants a Money in the Bank qualifying match for himself and Ivy Nile. New Day comes in. Adam Pearce is pissed, asking, does anybody knock around here? And is not thrilled with the Creed brothers getting a title shot in a triple threat match next week. Also, that involves the War Raiders. Pearce throws them all out of his office with Xavier Woods saying, smells like a midlife crisis in here. It's like, damn, don't do Pearce like that.
Gotta love Pearce. He's always very, on edge with all the stuff that's going on all the time. Next up, we have a little grudge match of sorts between Grayson Waller and Sheamus. They were supposed to wrestle the previous week, but Grayson Waller wiggled his way out of that one, but he's not getting out of this one. This match was set up as Grayson wanting nothing to do with Sheamus, but ended up in a relatively competitive match. Great work from Austin Theory here, showing that he has some personality that could lead to something if given the chance. Sheamus winning here was no surprise, but they did well to sell the story of Waller and Theory. Austin Theory's over, man. The crowd was even fucking chanting for him in that match. It was great stuff. I've been saying for a while now, Austin Theory should get a legit shot.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel the stigma of him being Vince McMahon's personal choice is continuing to hurt him a bit.
Yeah, we both thought he might have been a good addition to the Seth Rollins faction. Obviously, they went with Bronson Reed, but to each their own. Up next, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. They make a bet on the Eastern Conference Finals that if the Pacers win, Michael Cole will call Monday Night Raw in a tank top.
I forgot about this. Fucking Pacers better win.
But if the Knicks win, Pat will call Raw in an actual full-on suit. As I said a second ago, the Indiana Pacers are currently leading that series 3-1. Game 5 will be taking place Thursday, May 29th in Madison Square Garden. 1 win away from seeing Michael Cole in a fucking tank top calling Monday Night Raw. Alrighty. And then they have a conversation with the Indiana Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton. He will be a playable character in WWE 2K25. Big rivalry with, of course, the Knicks and the Pacers. Michael Cole hyping up the Knicks with McAfee calling him a biased piece of trash. Then Halliburton picks Jey Uso to beat Logan Paul. Tyrese Halliburton is a big WWE fan. He always shows up when they're in town, and the recent game 4 in the Eastern Conference Finals here in Indianapolis, fucking Triple H and Nick Khan showed up. What's interesting about Tyrese being in 2K is I thought there were rumors that Jalen Brunson was also going to be in 2K, but there's been no note of that since. Apparently people have looked through the game files, and Brunson has a 3-point celebration where he covers his face. It's in the game, so it would make sense to me that he was supposed to be in it, but nothing so far. All I know is with Tyrese Halliburton being in WWE 2K25, after the Pacers beat the Knicks and go to the NBA Finals, a lot of new people in New York are going to be buying that game and beating the living shit out of Tyrese Halliburton in that video game. That's that much I do think will happen. Even if we don't win the series, the Knicks fans will still do that. We get a rundown of Saturday night's main event. Then Gunther is interrupted by Seth Rollins, who says, "It's been a while." Rollins thanks Gunther for doing good things with his title, but Gunther says the reality is Rollins is not the long-term game around here. Rollins says that if Gunther gets in the way, he will make himself a target. Gunther saying, "I am eagerly awaiting that."
Yeah, as Gunther probably would be. He loves a good challenge. The second Money in the Bank qualifying match is next, and this time it's a returning Kairi Sane going up against Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark. We've already talked about this. Zoe Stark with that nasty. She was going for a torpedo drop kick from the top rope, and it looked like Kairi was either too far away or something. You could hear Zoe yell Kairi before she jumped. Anyways, it looked like it was all messed up timing wise, and I don't know why Zoe just didn't flat back it. She tried to hold up, and her knee went sideways. So wishing her a speedy recovery. I think she is a fantastic wrestler, and given a little time maybe on promo work, she could do some things, but currently she's gonna have to deal with this injury. Obviously, with the injury happening, they had to work a different finish because we all know that Zoe was taking the pin in that match, especially with Kairi just returning. No way she was going to eat the pin, and no way that it wasn't anybody but Rhea Ripley winning the whole thing. Nonetheless, they worked it, and they did a good job of working through that. They pretty much had to call that match on the fly, and it turned out probably as good as it really could have. Ripley moving on, Money in the Bank is the one that makes the most sense. I can't see her winning it, just because she doesn't really need to get that win to get her back in the title picture. But she's definitely going to be there to infuse a bit of a veteran presence into that match, because currently it's all youngins in that match other than Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. She's definitely going to riptide somebody off of a ladder.
That's going to happen.
That's happening. And back to the Zoe thing. Yeah, I think she's super talented with the releases of everybody else that was in PFC, with her being the last one standing. Clearly, I think WWE knows she's talented, and I was really looking forward to seeing what they were going to do with her. Yeah, well, speedy recovery, well wishes. And sometimes when superstars get injured and they come back, sometimes it elevates when they come back because they get a good reaction, and then you can play off that reaction. I just hope that works out for Zoe. We'll see. Rusev is ready to destroy Akira Tozawa, which, all right, Akira. Next week, he will forgive Tozawa's stupidity and forget his existence. Here's the fun stuff, though, of the night. Finn Balor introduces Roxanne Perez as a potential member in the Judgment Day. She's even got some presents. She brings some chicken nuggets for Dominic Mysterio, some apples for Carlito, and then Raquel Rodriguez throws her out, saying Liv will not like this. Finn's trying to appeal to Dominic's sleazy tendencies here. Yeah, this is good shit from Finn. And we'll talk about the more recent Monday Night Raw because it gets better. Finn Balor is he's cooking. He is cooking. Then we get, of course, here's what to look forward to next week. And we will talk about next week once we get there. Loaded show.
Main event, we have the perfect person for a main event. It's none other than main event Jey Uso going up against Braun Breaker. Being a non-title match, there was a chance that maybe Braun comes away with the win clean. But of course, they went with the DQ finish, as you don't want to take the chance of making your champion look weak going into Saturday night's main event, but you also don't want to take the chance of making the new faction look weak. Right. So, the DQ is the obvious way to go. This was really set up from the beginning by Rollins making it clear earlier that this was all about slowing down Jey Uso a little bit heading into the weekend. It is also the final little bit of the setup for the Seth Rollins Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn match on the weekend. Post-match, the beatdown is on until Sami Zayn and CM Punk come in for the save. And after the fans get done singing Cult of Personality, the brawl is on. The fight heads into the crowd with Punk diving in with a double axe handle. The four of them go into the back, and Logan Paul slips on in and knocks Uso out to end the show.
A bit of a reoccurring thing on Raw, and we'll even talk about it once we get to the next Raw, but CM Punk there's no note of CM Punk throughout the shows. He just shows up at the end. Have you noticed that? It's been 3 weeks in a row, I think now, unless the week prior maybe he was on, but I don't know. He just shows up. He just pops out and causes chaos for Seth Rollins. The build for Saturday night's main event, it was what it was. We talked about how rushed it kind of has been, just because we had Backlash, and then now we got this, and then we got oh shit, Money in the Bank's coming up. So it's felt a bit rushed, but it is what it is. And Saturday night's main event, and we'll talk about it when we get there, is not a PLE. It's not. It's for a national television broadcast. It's for the masses per se, not the diehard fans that watch every week. Which, when I say that, you have events like WrestleMania that are kind of for the fans, but also for a bigger appeal of audience. They want to get more eyes on the product. They always have, and they always will. And that's what Saturday night's main event is. So I get it. I get what they're doing. And it was a good Raw. It was a final little build for Saturday night's main event. But it wasn't the best Raw compared to what we just watched, but it did its job.
Yeah, this show was all about the final setups for Saturday night event, and they did a good job of that. Paul versus Uso got a nice boost, but there was also quite a bit more to look forward to in the other matches happening. Not only did they set up some Money in the Bank participants, but you can see some title matches already, coming together, being announced soon. Teased for down the line. They're really doing a good job of making everything come together. This was basically just a giant preview night, and it worked very well. The action was good too. The matches were entertaining, but in the end, it was really just setting up for stuff in the future, which WWE does that the best. They have long-term stories that last years. I mean, we're on Bloodline 19.8 at this point, and it's still going strong. So stuff they do well.
Yeah, and then the Usos kids are getting to the age where they can start training. I mean, yeah, it's never going to end with the Bloodline. And of course, well wishes to Zoe Stark, speedy recovery, and can't wait to see you back in action. Speaking of action, moving forward to NXT. This was from May 20th, the May 20th edition of NXT.
Yeah, and here we are, the go-home show for Battleground. All the matches are mostly set, so we have a little housekeeping to do and to get those matches into their final setups. We have a Joe Hendrick concert on tonight's show, and a little Trick Williams rap set for tonight, and one final face-to-face between the challenger Miles Bourne and the champion Oba Femi for their weekend match.
Yeah, building up to that, Miles defeated Ethan the week prior, and solidified his spot take on Oba at Battleground, and just building towards that. And I think what all of us were looking forward to was, what the hell is Joe Hendry going to say to roast Trick Williams? And that was kind of what I was looking forward to most for this NXT.
Yeah, and
and this match that you're about to talk about, I was hyped for this match.
Well, yeah, and that's why they opened the show with it. Triple threat, Javon Evans, Ashante, the Adonis, which, you know what? After this match, that man can fucking go in the ring. Yes. And Sean Legacy. Ricky Saints is out for commentary, and I believe this match has future North American title match attached to it. Mm-hmm. It's not officially announced right yet, but I'm pretty sure that there is some kind of reward for this match in the end. Fantastic way to showcase Sean Legacy. Like,
yeah,
the first guy out of their WWE ID program to make it on network television. And he showed up and showed out. It's obvious from this match and the Battle Royale previously that he is one of the brighter prospects coming up, and he should be ending up a full-time member of NXT roster sooner than later, I would say.
Yeah.
These three put on a fantastic match. Like I said, Ashante the Adonis, he can fucking go, man. He's good. The near falls in this match, Siobhan Evans, everything just works so well, and great way to start off in NXT.
Yeah, and just the fact that Sean Legacy got the win is awesome. I didn't expect it. I really thought Javon was going to. That's what
Oh no, 100%. I'm not quite as hyped on Javon as you are. I don't think he's ready for a title yet. So.
No, that's fair, but you see the potential and you see how they booked him, so it's like, all right, well, Javon most likely getting this, but I like the swerve with Sean Legacy because he is really good. What do we got here? Ava.
If you can stand out in a 20-man match and really stand out,
true,
there's something there.
True. Ava, since here to deal with Ethan Page, because boy, Ethan Page has been a menace with Ricky Saints. This brings her to Tyra May Steele and Jasper Troy. They were the official winners of WWE LFG Season 1. Not my winners. That's not who I would have voted for and picked, but it is what it is.
After seeing what Jasper Troy's done the last 2 weeks, I think he's made right choice.
Yeah, Jasper makes sense. I would have went with my boy BJ Ray. And probably Zena.
He wasn't even in the finals.
He should have been. He had a hurt shoulder. He got hurt.
Also, a hurt ego.
Hey, don't disrespect the West Coast gangster. That dude, he's been in the
dude.
I'm
streets. Way more West Coast than you'll ever be.
He's been through the mean streets. All right, mean streets. I do think no, Jasper Troy's awesome. I'm just having fun with the BJ Ray thing. I think he does a good job with his character being I think I'm hood and I'm a thug, but like I was raised with a golden spoon. And it works really well because he's funny. But I thought Zena Sterling, honestly, came out.
All that reminds me of is I saw a clip the other day of David Beckham and Victoria Beckham. Their whatever reality show, whatever happened. and Victoria's trying to claim like she grew up poor or some shit. And David's like, "What's your dad drive? What did he drive?" And then she keeps trying to deflect. And he's like, "What? No, but what did he drive you in?" Like, and she's like, "Well, he had like a an early '80s Rolls Royce, and he's like, "There you are."
Yeah, shit. Calm down, Victoria. Chill. So the winners of WWL GC's One, they'll be debuting in the next few weeks. Jasper Troy promises that he will make an immediate impact tonight. And Abe was like, all right, okay. The hell are you going to do? We get a look at Jordan Grace. She's training. Just hyping up the match that she's going to be having at Battleground with Stephanie Vaquer. She signed around the time that Julia and Stephanie, and they all wanted to be on top. And, Grace has been in Mexico, Japan. She dominated TNA. And Sunday at Battleground, she will prove that she is the best. We see Lola Vice, who has been brown-nosing Stephanie Vaquer, and it has not stopped since. But she's wishing Stephanie good luck for her. But, they run into Fatal Influence. They argue a bit, but then it's set Fallon Henley versus Lola Vice is set for later in the show. Then Trick Williams says people break their neck to see him, while Joe Hendry breaks his neck to see the people. Williams, this is his rap segment here. It was not good. I didn't like it. Basically, average Joe is all you need to take away from this. That was his big
Booker
quote.
T thought it was fantastic.
It wasn't good, man. No, it wasn't. It was not that good. Booker T did love it, but no. He was just average Joe is what he was trying to get over for Joe Hendry. Then we get Josh Briggs dedicating his next match to Yoshiki Inamura, who he's not dead. He just went back to Japan. But
He's made him sound dead.
I know. I was saying he wasn't dead. He just left and went back.
He's just staring into his locker, touching a picture of Yoshiki. I got you, man.
This is for you.
And that leads us into our second match tonight. Josh Briggs taking on Sean Spears. I'm not really sure what the angle here is. Are we supposed to be sad that Inamura is gone? I'm not really sure. Anyways, this match was okay, but the big takeaway from this match is action. The action after the match with Hank and Tank coming out for the save as the call-in started to dismantle Josh Briggs in the ring. Surely this is setting up some sort of three-man tag team down the line. Sean Spears takes the win here, but Josh Briggs with Hank and Tank stand tall.
Yeah, you're right.
Way to go out there and dedicate a match to your fallen hero, friend,
and
comrade. Lose. Good job, Josh.
Jesus. Kalani Jordan is shown bickering with Zarya and Sol Ruka. With Zarya saying tonight she will take care of Jordan. The match later in the night is if Kalani beats Zarya, she will get a match against Sol at Battleground for the Women's North American title. Thea Hale shown with her bandaged eye after her match with Tatum Paxley. She's yelling at Tatum about the attack, but she doesn't get much out because Paxley does say Hale has no idea what it's like to lose everyone. Hale goes to say, "Oh, I do," but Jada Parker comes out of nowhere with the hypnotic, jumping Thea Hale from behind, and then goes up to Tatum and is like, Tatum, I do kind of feel bad for you. And Tatum reaches her hand towards Jada and is like, you do? And Jada says, hell nah, stupid, and walks out. I was like, damn, that was fucked up.
Tatum just wants a friend.
Loses everybody.
Next match is the students of Andre Chase, Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon of the Reformed Chase U, taking on a returning OTM.
Yeah.
We were pretty much just shy of a squash match here, with Kale and Uriah getting a few quick seconds of attacks in, but more or less OTM pretty much ran right through them for the win. Chase U has a bit to go to get back to being a respectable stable, but I'm intrigued where this goes. I mean,
I'm worried.
I think Andre will just lose his mind at some point. Having OTM returning and smashing through their first match makes sense, as they could, find themselves back in the title scene sooner or later in the tag team division.
OTM may be tag champions one day. But yeah, I worry about Chase U and what they're going to do with this. Either I'm intrigued. I want to see. Maybe Andre Chase finally whips Uriah and Kale back into the mindset, because they seem to be just living life and having a good old time with Chase U. showing up late to class, and not listening to him and just doing shit. They're doing cowboy shit, man. They're doing whatever they want. And I think you're right. Andre Chase is going to snap. They're like, oh, shit. All right, we'll listen. But I don't know. We'll see. But better not be the downfall of Chase U. Chase U can't die. Chase U forever. Miles Born and Obafemi come down for their final showdown before their title match at Battleground. Femi is surprised and impressed that Miles has made it this far. He understands that Bourne is fighting for people who believe in him and who are following their dreams. However, that dream was realized when Miles won the Battle Royale, and it all ends when the bell rings at Battleground. Bourne goes on to talk about how he's been treated differently his entire career, that this is about making a statement, and hopes that Oba does underestimate him. Everyone has always done that, from the doctors, the nurses, to NXT coaches. He has been overcoming battles all of his life, and every ruler eventually falls. So what? He can't hear well, but he'll hear the 1, 2, 3 on Sunday when he wins the NXT title. I think in this, Oba also had words of, "This is not a Disney movie," so I'm gonna beat your ass, basically. Bourne goes to leave, and Jasper Troy does make a statement, and he jumps the NXT champion Oba Femi. Miles Bourne does come down and make.
I mean, you want to make a mark right off the hop.
Shit.
Just go after the biggest, baddest motherfucker on the roster.
But Jasper Troy is a big bad motherfucker too. Bourne does make the save, runs off Jasper Troy. He holds up the title, but he does hand it back to Oba for the stare down. Yeah, he didn't lift it. He did hold it. I don't know, superstition of a wrestling fan over here. But yeah, I don't really have much expectation. I didn't think Miles was beating Oba, but anything's possible. We've learned that recently in NXT, and we'll get to it. Ricky Saints and Ethan Page are arguing in Ava's office, and Saints is willing to actually just give him a title shot to get his hands on him. Ava says that they don't make the matches, she does. She makes the match they want for the title, not at Battleground, but the Tuesday following Battleground. Tony D'Angelo talking about what it means when you get betrayed. He and Stax, of course, grew up together and have known each other for years. They made the D'Angelo family, but now Stax wants to run everything. But Stax doesn't get what it takes to be in charge, and he doesn't see everything. On Sunday, he says Stax will see how things really work. Those personal, they're building that. I don't know how invested you were in the story. I'm invested in the story. The match is what I was not really. I want to know what they're doing with the story. The match, whatever.
Where the fuck is Rizzo?
That's what I'm saying. Where the fuck is Rizzo? And at this point, it's like, where the fuck is Luca? Is Luca dead? That's where I was at with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Next up in the rain is Lola Vice and Fallon Henley squaring off. Lola Vice continues to be in an odd spot on the roster. She mostly smashes through, the stars that she faces, but never reaches that next level.
Yeah.
I mean, at a point, if you aren't going to put her in the title picture, it's weird to have her, continually beat people pretty easily. Fatal Influence continues to have their issues, and who knows where that is going, but I can't see it doing much to elevate either of them, really. And remind you, I wrote this before happened.
Are you talking about Lola and Fallon or Lola and Fatal Influence?
I'm talking about JC and
the
Fallon.
bickering. Oh, yeah.
I don't see what this will do to elevate either of them, but
I kind of like the fact that we are doing this now because the notes are like, oh, damn. Just a week
Vice,
ago.
But yeah, Vice continues to just be in a weird place. I don't know. It's just weird.
Just a week ago. I don't know really where Fatal Influence is going to hit.
It's definitely going to. It actually complicates things even more with JC.
It does.
But
100% does. Dark State talks about how Deion Lennox started the team, and now they're all ready to take NXT down. They all bring something different to the table, and now it's time to find out who is next on their radar. We look at Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson again, that from their altercation, their stare down on SmackDown from the offseason in the NBA. Yeah. Nothing more. We talked.
Yeah, they're really punching that Tyrese Jalen thing.
Yeah, I think they're just like happy that they kind of predicted the Eastern Conference Finals. They're like, look what we did. We fucking write scripts for other shit.
I mean, the NBA is scripted, so I mean, we all know that. Main event match of the night, we have Zarya taking on Kalani Jordan. Weird way to go, having both this match and the previous match have pretty much the same finish.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. I mean, nothing really. This didn't feel like a main event at all. But Kalani winning here makes the most sense. As Zarya versus Sol Ruca for the title doesn't work at all at the moment because there's no animosity there yet. There's no real story to tell them going up against each other at the moment. But it's coming.
Yeah.
You can see it coming. I think Zarya needs to go back into the kind of like the heel style monster that they brought her in as, instead of this weird watered down version of I got a friend in you. You know.
Yeah. No, I get you. I wonder, based on the events that have transpired, if that's coming for Zarya now for a big push, based on information and all that stuff that has come out regarding people already moving called up to the main roster. So we'll see what happens with Zarya. And Zarya has had beef with Fatal Influence, so we'll see what happens. We get the rundown for what is to come at Battleground, and we get the Joe Hendry concert. He kind of gives a little love to Trick Williams for trying in his first performance. Hendry sings about how he'll be champion after Battleground and that Trick is merely the world champion of producing tears and is only a bad sidekick to Carmelo Hayes. We see a clip of Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes in a haunted house from way back, and Hendry added his face in to be the part where Trick gets jump scared. Just fun stuff. Joe Hendry, that's what he does. Then the big part was him singing about how Trick Williams is Melo's bitch, which brings, of course, Trick to interrupt. Williams calls him Average Joe, and they go at it with the trick shot. Hitting the guitar, Hendry gives him a standing ovation and sings about winning on Sunday to end the show. Joe Hendry's, if we're going based on musical talent, Joe Hendry won the battle of musicians that night because the whole crowd was literally chanting that Trick was Melo's bitch, and that's just hilarious. And overall, it was you said it when we started, it's just, hey, let's get these final blocks in place. Battlegrounds come this weekend. It was one of those NXTs. It was a go-home show with some good matches mixed in and a opening match that was awesome. I enjoyed NXT. I always do it. NXT is awesome. I love NXT.
Yeah, it was really just about getting ready for Battleground. They did do a nice job of getting those things ready, though, and getting some other stories started for down the line. Something that's really been missing from previous go-home shows, and it's nice to have them just get it all sorted out, ready for the show. Battleground, I was looking forward to Battleground because I was expecting some surprises. But really, we got all those surprises on the following NXT, so it was weird. It's almost, they booked that show like they were expecting to be in a big arena, though. That's why I felt like that show felt huge, and the fact that they decided to go back to the Performance Center and having such a wild show
and they still
just an average NXT.
Yeah.
But I feel like they were booking to be in front of thousands of fans, and ticket sales. I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of. It's hard to. I would say it does have a little bit to do with the fact that Tampa's only like an hour and a half away from Orlando, and why would people want to pay for tickets to a show in Florida for NXT when they can mostly go for free? So,
yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's because it was billed as it's just an NXT weekly show, nothing special about it. But
I mean, they definitely booked it like it was going to be special, but maybe they should have hinted towards that a bit.
Yes, they did. As we move forward to SmackDown, for those that care in the sports world, Oklahoma City Thunder are going to the NBA Finals. They defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves 4-1, and the Florida Panthers are headed back to the Stanley Cup Finals as well as they dispatched the Carolina Hurricanes 4-1 with a 5-3 victory to wrap that series up. They await the winner of Edmonton and Dallas. The Oklahoma City Thunder await the winner of the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. That was your sports update here on the Top Rope Renegades YouTube channel.
Yeah, cool. We're gonna have a Stanley Cup rematch from last year, and Florida's going to win again because they're better than they were last year.
That was me tapping into my old radio days when we had to do quick little updates throughout the radio shows. Just the little segments where it's like a little sounder plays, and you're like, "Here's what happened." The Indiana Pacers defeated the New York Knicks. Blah 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 blah. Tyrese Haliburton scored. Blah blah blah. This has been your minute update here on 1070 The Fan.
And yeah, Kurt really just did that. He did a segment, then he explained the whole segment while saying the same things he said in the segment the first time he said in the segment. Very. You know how sometimes when you got to explain your joke, it's not funny anymore.
It wasn't a joke. I was just reminiscent, really. You're just
we are one night away from Saturday night's main event with this SmackDown, which is live from the End Market Arena in Savannah, Georgia. Georgia Peaches.
I get my peaches out in Georgia, and that's
it's kind of like it's kind of weird. Is it not weird how some places just get recognized for the most oddest things? Like most people in the world, like in North America, anyways, I would assume. I don't know about the whole world, but
hold on. Then I want to do that real quick. So, like, I say Georgia, you think of peaches. Florida,
Sunshine State.
Okay. My state, Indiana.
Indy 500.
Yeah, I mean that's what Chicago. Well, Illinois. Illinois people go Chicago.
It's Chicago.
What do you think in New York?
Big Apple.
California.
Wine.
Okay. Texas.
Guns.
I knew you were gonna say guns. I'm thinking of a random Iowa.
No, that's Ohio. The Ohio is the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Iowa is Cornhuskers.
No, that's Nebraska.
Nebraska.
So Iowa for me, I think of the Idaho potatoes. That's where like Idaho potatoes come from. Is Iowa? Like it's a big thing. Don't know.
Okay, that's what I was going to originally, but then I'm like, no, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, that's what I was going to originally.
A couple Tennessee.
Nashville.
Yeah. Alabama. All right. Fuck. Pennsylvania. I know what you were thinking.
Wouldn't most people think that?
Yeah. Fuck. Pennsylvania.
I think of Pittsburgh, the Steel City, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Michigan.
Detroit.
Yeah, that's fair. What about Minnesota?
Well, Detroit, Motor City.
Yeah. Minnesota.
Minnesota, basically Canada.
I like that one. What about Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Also basically Canada.
No, yeah, it's like the prairies. It's like the prairies, yeah. Wisconsin, like I think like Wisconsin cheese. Wisconsin cheese.
Oh, yeah, it's good. Yeah, cheese heads.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know all the states, but like if I say fucking North Dakota.
No, I got nothing.
South Dakota, you got nothing. Utah.
Mormons.
That's fair. That's actually fair. Like Oregon.
Oregon, Portland, the beer scene.
Beer scene, yeah, okay. And then like
Portland apparently is just like chock full of microbreweries. Like they're like the capital of fucking like craft beer.
And like Washington.
Like Washington the state or Washington D.C.
Washington the state.
I think basically West Coast Canada, Vancouver, Seattle.
Huh. Yeah. You could do that with me with Canadian places. I wouldn't have a fucking clue. I know nothing.
I don't want to bring up the obvious stereotype there, but wow.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. I'm good fuck about it. I don't know shit about Canada. All I know about is like the main ones. That's it.
like Toronto and fucking Vancouver.
Yeah, but my answers are not going to be similar to yours. Like you say Toronto, I go Drake.
Yeah, not at all. Toronto's a concrete jungle.
Honestly, I say Maple Leafs. I don't know, like just
Probably. Toronto would probably be most recognized for Maple Leafs.
Vancouver,
Blue Jays.
Vancouver. I just think in my head when you say Vancouver, I think of like mountains, like just beautiful scenery.
Vancouver does have mountains on the outskirts of it, but I mean Vancouver is basically built right on the ocean.
That's true too. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. That was a tangent for you. So Alabama.
Wait. Brothers and sisters, man. What can I say?
That's not. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Fuck, man. Alabama. Why does Poor Alabama. Yeah. Well, it's not. I'm telling you, 90% of the people that know anything about Alabama is going to go to where I went.
Yeah. People are pissed. They're like, you could have said Crimson Tide.
No, I said what everybody thinks.
Roll Tide. And when you say Roll Tide, I think what you thought. So it's like
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah. Got it. That's a fucking tangent. Yeah. All right. Anyway,
pretty sure that whole state's missing a chromosome.
Georgia.
Where the fuck? Yeah. Oh my god. Wait, how did this start? Georgia Peaches? Yeah.
Yeah.
We were about 2 weeks away from Money in the Bank, so we were sure to have some more qualifying matches. And of course, we got the big time showdown between Go Frexy and the Street Profits. Now over to my broadcast companion for his thoughts on the new Fraxium theme song.
Yeah, he just nailed it. They sound like a Power Rangers song. It's a Power Rangers theme song. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's Fraxium. But yeah, I was, I like the qualifying matches, depending on who's in them, of course. But I like the
They're
ones
glorified matches to set up basically what's a glorified number one contenders match.
Right. But I like it when if there's at least two people in that match that make me go, ooh, they could win it. And you don't really know who's going to win it. But like the one with Rhea Ripley on Raw, you knew Rhea was winning. But there we go. We get, of course, various people showing up, including Damian Priest, who immediately jumps Drew McIntyre.
On site. On site
is legit. Tiffany Stratton comes out to talk to the people. She's rather happy that she has with what she's been doing lately and is looking forward to Money in the Bank. But everyone better think twice about cashing in on her. Alexa Bliss comes out though for a formal introduction, saying she needs that briefcase. She doesn't know Stratton very well, so Tiffany, you better pray that I don't win. Former Money in the Bank winner, Alexa Bliss. I think she also called Tiffany Stratton a knockoff version as well. And then Tiffany calls who comes up next. Yeah, the Queen. She did that again. We both popped for that one. Charlotte to come out and brag about, of course, everything that she has done, except for winning Money in the Bank. She wants that spotlight back, of course, but Charlotte calls, but gets called a hypocrite. Charlotte has called the briefcase a cheap way in, but it doesn't matter because Charlotte and Bliss are a bit old school for Tiffany Stratton, she says, and that Stratton is the upgraded version of the two of them. And honestly,
Bliss will forever be better than you.
I got shit. I love Tiffany, but that pissed me off. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? Get up out of here.
Yeah, and the opening match is a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Charlotte Flair, Julia, and the United States champion Zelina Vega squaring off. The second I saw Zelina Vega and Julia were in this match, I thought for sure Charlotte would be taking the win.
This is kind of what I was alluding to, but a part of me did like. I like, I love Julia, but yeah, you're totally right. This is one of those qualifying matches where you're like, oh fuck, it's Charlotte.
Kind of weird having the fresh United States champion in this match, as no one saw her winning and would be taking a loss
No.
here. I'm sure they could have found somebody else on the roster that they could have slotted in there. No.
Totally. Michin.
This match was okay, nothing to write home about.
Oh,
But
she
big
did.
surprise was Julia coming away with the win here, as I definitely wasn't calling that at the start of the match.
No. Yeah, I love Julia, but I thought Charlotte all the way. But yeah, Julia's in. And that's what you talked about when we were talking about Raw, is that besides Rhea, it's a lot of young, the up and coming stars are in this match. And I'm very intrigued to see what these other qualifying matches and who shows up in them on SmackDown and Raw the coming weeks. We will see. DIY are taking
Coming
credit.
weeks,
Well, 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks away.
like
We got a couple
basically.
matches. We still got a couple qualifying matches. DIY is taking credit for the tag division coming together and doesn't like other teams acting like they were the reason for it, which honestly, they're not totally wrong, but they're wrong. They were a part of it, but they weren't the reason. Come on. Zelina Vega is shown in the back, and Chelsea Green is mocking her. Of course, they're going to brawl, and it's broken up quickly by the Secret Service. BFAB and Michin come in to say that they want to fight tonight, and Nick Aldis is like, yep, sounds good to me. Let's do it.
Yeah, and that leads us into our next match tonight. It's Tommaso Ciampa and Chris Sabin facing off in a singles match. Perfectly healthy Johnny Gargano and Alex Shelley are ringside to cheer on their partners in this match. Not really sure what Tony Khan was doing booking WWE tonight, but here we are. Just have a tag match. If you think that having a singles match by two members of the tag match is going to, freshen things up a bit, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that said, these two put on a solid match here. Not really a surprise, though. I mean, two very good wrestlers in the ring. We did get a nice little return of Candice LeRae joining up with her. She was part of DIY back down in NXT, wasn't she? Or what they were called, The Way. They were called The Way.
Yeah,
The Way.
but Tommaso was not a part of The Way.
No, that's right. I thought for some but no, she was with Johnny Gargano in The Way.
It was Candice, Johnny, Indy Hartwell, Austin Theory, and then they added Dexter Lumis when Indy started making out with Dexter Lumis. And Dexter Lumis didn't talk. All he said was "I do" when they got married.
He still barely talks.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, Candice LeRae joining up with DIY. She helps Ciampa secure the victory. That was a fun way to go. It sets up something down the line there. I wonder what woman could possibly join the fold of the tag team division for it to make sense on her return there.
Am I supposed to know this?
Yes, but anyways, we'll get there.
Fraxium is ready for the biggest night of their careers as they have a tag team title shot. We get to look back.
It's called foreshadowing, people.
Yeah,
foreshadowing.
Yeah. We look back at my dumbass. We look back at John Cena's heel turn and how he blames the fans, of course, for abusing him over the years. Damian Priest is supposed to come out to talk about Drew McIntyre, but instead they're still freaking brawling. It is broken up, but Priest says he wants more with the brawl continuing. They are just brawling. That's it. Jacob Fatu doesn't know JC Mateo, and you don't trust him. So Sikoa says, use that aggression tonight. Solo wants Jimmy Uso back in the fold, but Jacob doesn't seem convinced by either of them. We get Alexa Bliss talking to her doll. Why am I spacing the name? Oh God, help.
Lily?
What's the doll's? Lily. God, thank you. Alexa Bliss is talking to Lily about being friends, and Charlotte's like, "Are you talking to me?" And Alexa's like, "You're fucking stupid. I'm talking to my doll." And Alexa just mocks Charlotte for losing her match. If she would have had friends, maybe. Yeah, we get it, Charlotte.
We have some tag team action up next with the Secret Service, Piper Niven and Alba Fire taking on BFAB and Michin. Still kind of wild that Alba Fire and Piper Niven wrestle in their get-ups, but gotta respect the gimmick. This match is basically nothing more than a setup for the inevitable rematch between Chelsea and Zelina for the US title, which we got a lot sooner than I was expecting. I don't think that was booked at that point, but I think they booked it last second. Mm-hmm. Alba deserves more than this. She is currently getting as a sidekick because she can definitely go in the ring. Probably the only bright side of this entire match was her action in it. Mishan and BFAP do come away with the win here, but again, it was all just a side piece to the Zelina Chelsea ongoing feud, which after what happened on the weekend, I highly doubt it's far from finished.
Or it is. I don't know. We'll see. The Street Profits are seeing they're ready for Fraxium, and they don't like the suggestion that there is a better team, that Fraxium's better than them. Jacob Fatu, Solisco, and JC Mateo slide through for some just glaring and staring. Legado del Fantasma, they have a meeting to try and calm things down. Santos wants them ready for a 6-man tag at Worlds Collide on June 7th. Berto is still not sure. He's not convinced, but he does down his drink for a bit of a toast. Not with them, but he stayed sitting while they stood up. And
he slammed it and just left. But
yeah, he's like, all right, peace out. Fuck y'all. I'm out. Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix are ready to rock and roll for their upcoming match.
Yeah, and we got Jacob Fatu reluctantly teaming up with JC Mateo against Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix in the next match. This match ended up being a lot better than I was expecting, with the two monsters who don't get along facing the makeshift team of Jimmy and Rey here. I'm really kind of intrigued where this all leads to with Jacob Solo and JC Mateo, but one has to think that Jacob Fatu is going to get the big time babyface turn at some point. Also, maybe a little teasing that Solo is going to get Jimmy back into the family. Who knows? The Bloodline Story version 9.7 continues to cook. JC Mateo gets the pinfall win here after a tour of the islands to put away Jimmy for the, I already said that, pinfall. The pinfall.
Yeah.
The pinfall. Tour of the islands.
Yeah. It was, Jimmy took the pin, which, all right, it doesn't matter. He can take pins. He'll just make you laugh next week. LA Knight is ready to go through Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura to get to Money in the Bank. He is tired of the darkness and is ready to BFT them into the light. Then it's R-Truth. He's going to come out to talk to the people. He's got his match with Cena coming up. It's Saturday night's main event. John Cena is his childhood hero, but he does not know who this John Cena is. Problem is power, because they used to be friends. The more power and fame Cena got, though, the more disconnected he felt. They stopped talking, and R-Truth felt like Cena was always annoyed at him. Maybe R-Truth thought he had done something wrong, but other people felt the same. Cena is like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, with his championship being his precious. He doesn't believe Cena is happy, but maybe he could bring Cena back. R-Truth wants to save, he's going to save wrestling. That's what R-Truth's goal is here. He's going to save Cena to save wrestling, so he will beat him with hustle, loyalty, and respect. He will beat it back into John Cena, and if Cena wins, we riot. Good callback to ECW pay-per-view back in the day where Cena faced off against Rob Van Dam for the WWE Championship. And the Cena we riot sides were everywhere. And yes, RVD did beat John Cena at a one-night stand then, with Edge's help with a motorcycle helmet on Edge hiding his appearance. Anyway, we look back at Sami Zayn, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, the build-up to that, and what is set to be a match at Saturday night's main event. Get a video on Naomi versus Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax, which will take place next week for a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, and that leads us into our second Money in the Bank qualifying match of the night. This time with the men taking part in it. Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, and Aleister Black are the competitors in this one. LA Knight really needed this win. Even if he really wasn't the one to do the work to get it, he still comes away with the win. I really don't see him winning the Money in the Bank match, but he needs to get away from facing the same people all the time in hunt of the U.S. title for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if I see him winning Money in the Bank, but I wouldn't be surprised. He's still a star. He's still very over. But I do think that, and like I'm going to say his name here in a second, but I think it should be reserved for, and I didn't like that Drew had it. I think Damian having it was a good shout, but like Drew winning it and how that transpired.
Damian getting that fucking catapulted him into main event status.
So does LA Knight need it? No. But will he cook with it? Maybe. But we'll see what happens. The Miz has gotten
Louisiana's very own.
Miz has gotten Carmelo Hayes a Money in the Bank qualifying match because he knows how important it can be to a wrestler's career. But he wants Hayes to follow his play calling, which Hayes is kind of okay with this
He's
idea.
getting into it. He's getting into
A little bit. Hayes is my favorite to win Money in the Bank, but he does actually have to qualify still. But I think Carmelo would be a good person to have the briefcase. We get a video highlighting Jey Uso.
Yeah, but if he
versus
wins
Logan
it, he
Paul.
doesn't win the title with it. He's one of those guys that unsuccessfully cashes
No
in.
way. No.
Carmelo Hayes is not ready for the fucking main title.
Maybe I'm just too much of a fan of Carmelo. Maybe I gotta calm that. Bring that back a little bit. Bring that down. We get a video highlighting Jey Uso versus Logan Paul at Saturday night's main event. We get the full rundown, and it is announced that Selena Vega will defend her U.S. title against Chelsea Green. Nick Aldis tells Jacob Fatu that he will be in the final Money in the Bank qualifying match next week. This was all because Solo set that up. Jacob says he loves Solo, and Solo
He ain't said that in like 6 months.
Cooking, just random shots of funniness, and yeah. Bianca Belair.
Hey, we're both in it. We're both going to win. Yeah, we got this. Yeah. We
I love you, Solo.
We got this. I love
Bianca
you, Solo.
Bianca Belair is returning next week.
Main event, the match that we all tuned into. We got the WWE Tag Team Championships on the line. The Street Profits defending against the young upstart of Go Frexy. If SmackDown has one consistent thing going for it, it is the tag team division. These two teams were putting on another 5-star banner before the lights went out, and the Wyatt Six are back.
Yeah,
And they wasted no time here and start destroying everybody in their way. The results in the double DQ as the Wyatts are not discriminating against anyone here.
Nope.
And everybody was out there. I mean, you had DIY out there, you had the Motor City Machine Guns out there, you had Fraxium out there, you had the Street Profits were out there, you had the Candice LeRae with DIY, you had Nikki Cross taking on Candice LeRae. Like that, it all comes together. I mean, Kurt totally forgot about that, and he asked me what I was referencing to, and I'm just like, it happened in the same fucking show. But anyways, that is definitely one way to make sure neither of the teams take a pinfall loss here. Happy birthday to Bray Wyatt. The Six are back, and this time they seem to have a clear target in sight.
Everybody.
The Wyatts wreck everyone, and Sister Abigail plants Gargano to end the show.
Yeah, I hope that the Wyatts are back, and they're back. I hope that's not one-off just for a moment because it was Bray's birthday, which I thought was an awesome moment with the cake and the blowing the candle out. That was really cool. God, man, we miss Bray Wyatt. He would be cooking with the freedom that Triple H would give him in this current day and age. You just know he would. But I hope they're sticking around. They wrecked everyone. I know the theme was people that betrayed their family. Yeah, I don't know. They said, fuck that rule. We're taking out everybody. We're badasses, and we're here. The Wyatts winning tag titles is an interesting thought. To see how they book that, I don't know. But I'm happy they're back. Good to see everybody again. And yeah, man, Candice LeRae.
I think Joe Gacy should be on TV more often. That guy can fucking
He's
go.
awesome. They're all good, and the character work is amazing. Yeah, hopefully they're here and they're going to be more prevalent on TV. I mean, SmackDown, you do have 3 hours to play with until June, maybe, or fuck, it's next
So I
month.
give a whole hour to the Wyatts every week. I'm down with it.
You could just have the Wyatt 6 hour power hour. Anyway, it's good SmackDown building into Saturday night's main event. I do like the qualifying matches, and for perspective here, we watched, but we didn't fully watch because I worked and didn't get home till like 3 o'clock in the morning. But we watched, and of course we reviewed. The Wyatt Six was highlight of the show, though.
Yeah, this show action was solid. They made Saturday night's main event more interesting with what they did. R-Truth's promo was shockingly good. And it fits very well with what they were doing. Other than that, they set up some things for Money in the Bank, and the rest of the card can come together after Saturday. Nice work this week. SmackDown has actually been putting on pretty decent shows lately. I still think they need to cut down that time a bit, but it's been better than what it has been in the past. Ever since WrestleMania, actually, they've been pretty much doing very well. And the tag team division has a lot to do with that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good show. Good show.
Yeah, the
Good show.
rumors
Good SmackDown.
indicate apparently in June they may be cutting back to 2 hours. No confirmation on that yet, but we will see. Up next, it is Saturday night's main event. This was, of course, from the past weekend. This was on May 24th, 2025. Yeah, it's just, I wanted to say, what did we talk about before? It was like, damn, there's bars not very high because the last Saturday night's main event kind of sucked. So we'll see what happens.
I can say right off the top, this one was better than the last one. But anyways, we open up Joe Testator's booming voice, opening us the show, welcoming everybody to Tampa for Saturday night main event on NBC.
Yeah. Hell yeah. We get some clips. Hey, all the people that are on the show tonight, they're here and they're showing up for work because they show up to do their job, and that's awesome to see. We get an opening video package with like the old school TV, transitioning to the channel. This, welcome to Saturday night's main event. But the new age Saturday night's main event, we get the pyro, jam-packed arena. Joe Testator is, of course, joined by the legendary commentator that is Jesse the Body Ventura, governor, of course, Jesse the Body
Just like to start off the show, Jesse was commentator in 2 steel cage matches in the past, and both those matches he was urging the competitor to escape the ring through the door. Just like to point that out.
Yeah. Don't worry. He's got his opinions on this, boy. He's got Jesse on. Yeah, we'll get to it.
I don't know why everyone would agree to such a stipulation of wrestling in a steel cage. First match of the NBC special is Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker teaming up against CM Punk and Sami Zayn. And as is typical with these specials, commercials. We got about 7 minutes of this match, and in those 7 minutes, it was very good. I will assume that the match during the commercials were also very good. The bigger turn here of Bronson Reed to get Seth and Braun the win is wild, as it was only 8 months ago, roughly, that he was trying to absolutely destroy Seth's career.
Yeah.
Seth's faction just got a whole lot more scary in a matter of seconds here.
Yeah, it did. After the match ended, Bronson joined Seth and Braun in the ring. But there is a second where Bronson gets to the ring and it's like, wait a minute, maybe he's not done. Big stare down with Braun Breaker, but they hug it out. So yeah, let's just get the guy that tried to kill you and ruin your career on your team instead of trying to attack you. Punk's not done though, because he grabs Paul Heyman by the leg, but he gets just a tsunami for this. Seth, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, they all stand tall to end this. We see Kathy Kelly with Chelsea Green and the Secret Service. Chelsea was in mourning, but now it's Saturday night. The votes are in, and she will begin her second term as the United States champion.
And that second match of the night is the Women's United States Championship match with Zelina Vega defending against Chelsea Green. This match was a match. It was a match. I was really hoping Chelsea would gain back the title here, but instead she ended up with a busted nose on a very bad 619 from Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
Zelina does retain here, which is fine, I guess. Just the whole mid-card division of the women's division is literally carried by Chelsea Green. So, curious where this goes.
Yeah, there's not much going on in the mid-card women's division besides Chelsea Green and whoever's holding the title. So I guess Chelsea doesn't need a title because she's so good. But God, there needs some love for that women's mid-card. Jimmy Hart is shown as in attendance, looking just like himself, of course, as he always has for some reason. Looks the same. Bushwhacker Luke is there. He gives him a lick. I mixed up Lick and Luke there. Licks him.
That's a tongue twister.
Bushwhacker
Lick and Luke and Luke and Lick.
El Hilo del
It's like those
Vikingo.
Alabama people.
No, they don't talk like that. They just talk like this. El Hijo del Vikingo will... No, I can't do that. El Hijo del Vikingo will take on Chad Gable at Worlds Collide. We see some highlight clips of Vikingo, and he's here at ringside.
If you haven't seen Vikingo in a match, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, that's it. If you want a more recent match to watch of his, he took on Speedball Mike Bailey on TNA's PLE. And yeah, wow.
All I gotta
wow.
say about his matches is there's like a 99% chance he's gonna injure himself every time.
Because he doesn't fucking care. He just does shit. A video package shows John Cena's turn to the dark side. And then Atlanta, it is announced, is going to be hosting. We talked about this in the news. We have the Great American Bash, Saturday night's main event, and Evolution will be taking place in July, the same weekend as AEW. So all in
Same weekend, same times. It's wild.
Let them cook.
The middle match of the show is a bit of surprise, but we have our Ron Cena. I mean, I've already said this. Come on. Ron Killian's initials, RK, Ron Kina. You would have never heard the end of it.
Yeah.
Versus John Cena in a non-title match. John Cena will now have been in 2 matches in a row after Money in the Bank with no title being defended. Shocking.
I really thought this was going to be the main event.
I thought so too. That's why I was shocked that it was middle match. But going in, one could only think glorified squash match. Like,
Kinda.
really?
Kinda.
The whole tribute gimmick was absolutely fantastic and about the best way they could have gone with this match. I mean, if you want to ruin wrestling, this is the way to do it. Short matches, tag matches, non-title matches. Yup. Nailing it, John. John Cena coming away with the win here was no surprise, but let's get a real run at some point. Like, I would literally call it the biggest blunder in the history of WWE if we did not get classic Cena, classic hustle, loyalty, respect for a bit, right?
Yeah, I think this heel turn is falling flat.
It's his goodbye year, dude. Like, he should be just. I don't know, man. I'm not even a John Cena fan, and I think that this is just a horrible way to go with this whole thing.
It's just falling flat. It was a good idea at first, but this is it. He's done at the end of the year. You have him being a bad guy, and the fans are still cheering him because they know it's his last year. Yeah, we need one. Like, I don't know if they're saving it, if they're just saving it. Like, hey, we'll push you hard the last few months, but man, it's not been great. It just hasn't been good. Maybe he just can't fucking go.
Yeah, but classic Cena. Just give the fans classic Cena for the run. Like, the ultimate good guy, the ultimate hustle, loyalty, respect, the 17-time champion, the guy who carried WWE through some very bad years, the guy who, like, is this how people want to remember John Cena in the WWE?
Yeah, it's tough. I think the face turn may happen quickly.
Like, it was cool. Honestly, it was cool at first because, like, the shock value of it.
Right.
Run with it for like maybe a month and a half, and then have the big, I can't do this. This isn't me.
And he can pull that off cleanly, easily. And the fans are going to cheer because they know this is fucking it. And I think it's going to have to come to an end soon. We have Money in the Bank coming up, which we'll get to. In that match, I don't see that being a point where he could turn face there, though. He could turn on Logan Paul, and the crowd will be like, okay, all right. But I feel like it has to involve The Rock, right? Kicking Rock.
The Rock ain't going to fucking show up. He didn't show up for WrestleMania.
The Rock ain't showing up. Maybe you can talk Travis Scott into taking an attitude adjustment.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe The Rock had this grand fucking plan, and then he just bailed on it.
And now they're trying to figure it out. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. After the match, Cena does land a belt shot on Truth and walks off to, of course, jeers for the crowd, but they do cheer and thank him as he leaves because this is it. He's done. Why are we going to boo the guy that carried this fucking company on his back? Anyway, Jey Uso is shown walking backstage, and he runs into John Cena. Jey reminds Cena that he eliminated him from the Royal Rumble, but John's looking forward to the next time he sees Jey. He does kind of like the idea of a YouTuber winning the World Championship, as that, combined with Cena leaving as a champion, would really ruin wrestling. Leilani Kai is in the house, as is Tatanka. I like seeing Tatanka. Good thing, though, Tatanka did not lick Leilani's face like Luke did to Jimmy Hart. Looking forward to the next, Jesse the Body Ventura has joined Michael Cole and Pat McAfee in the announce booth as they discuss his match on Tampa. He had a match in January of 1986 on Saturday Night's Main Event. And Lillian is explaining the cage match, and Jesse the Body Ventura is still talking. Which, if I'm in the back on production or Triple H and I'm hearing this, I'm fucking pissed.
I would just cut off his fucking mic.
Shut the fuck up, Jesse. Lillian's doing her job, and you just
We get her like we only get her like 4 times a year now. Like fuck off.
Bro,
next match is the steel cage match between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. If 2K Wrestling has taught me anything about wrestling, it's that a steel cage match is the match to finish out a feud.
That's what you do in GM mode. That's what you do.
This feud just has not reached the level of do I really care about it. It was thrown together on the whim of Damian screwing Drew for all of 2024, but did he really?
Yeah.
Did he really? That's a story for another day. A steel cage match on network television is just never going to work that well. I mean, you're not going to get the color that you'd usually get in a steel cage match. It's not going to be the ultra violence that you usually get in a steel cage match. The steel cage match is supposed to be brutal, hardcore, beat the ever living shit out of your opponent, and I mean, we got this. I mean, they didn't really get time to build the match either. I mean, we got commercials in between it. I mean, the only thing that really worked was, Priest pulling out the concerto to get the win, a little nod back to how he took out Edge. But Jesse Ventura on commentary this match, I liked him in the last time he did commentary in the match, but this was he was just yapping about the door and the fucking this and fucking that. It's just like, shut up, man. Just big no for me on that.
As you said, Jesse did not approve somebody winning by walking out the door, because I'm sure he has at one point or another, if Jesse ever won a cage match, it was probably by walking out the door, being drug out by a manager. Drew, he's shrugging off the referees and officials that are trying to assist him here after the concerto. And Jesse wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Just wouldn't.
And then the U.S. Express are shown. They're here. They're in the building. Mike Rotunda and Wyndham, or what's his name?
Barry Windham.
Barry Windham. Sorry, I forgot his first name. Who's his last name?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bray Wyatt's dad.
Yeah.
IRS. Come on.
Yeah, I knew that. Joe and Jesse rejoin us. Jesse is most impressed with the return of Bronson Reed, who will be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, who cares, Jesse? Main event time, and we have main event Jey Uso. Crazy, another main event match for main event Jey Uso. Defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan. My apple pie is the crumblest. I am the most humblest. Paul. Lonely Island shouted if you didn't know. Seriously, he should have gone with that song from Lonely Island. The song is called Humble. It's with Adam Levine. Fucking, it would have been great. Anyways, he had to cut his own.
What did you just say?
Adam Levine.
Levine?
Levine.
All right.
Maroon 5?
Adam Levine.
Levine.
All right.
You say potato, I say potato.
I say potato.
I say potato, then I don't fucking know. They were cutting it close to the 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time finish of the show with the bell ringing at 9:50. Kind of crazy when you think about it. Roughly 10 minutes for the main event with commercial in between. Clearly, it didn't really matter, though, because the big finish was all about John Cena and a returning Cody Rhodes.
Cody's back.
Cody's back. Logan Paul continues to prove that he belongs right where he is. And one day, it will definitely be no surprise when he wins the top title in the business. Jey Uso does retain here with the frog splash for the pinfall after the shenanigans of Cena and Rhodes concluded.
Yeah, Cody does come on to deter John Cena. He does grab a microphone and tells John that he has ruined enough. Cena has a partner, though, in Logan right there. And Cody has a brother that he can trust in Jey, and that they will see them at Money in the Bank. Cody hits the closing line just before we go there.
Professional.
Such a professional. He's a pro. So Jey will not be defending his title at Money in the Bank. Cena will not be defending his title in the Bank, which is fine. That's fine, because the Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank's about Money in the Bank.
But I do know the next night, or well, 2 nights after that Monday Night Raw following Money in the Bank, Jay has to defend that title against Gunther. So I wonder if there is going to be some shenanigans or if Jay's going to get the shit beat, So is Gunther going to be champion again?
He should be.
Yeah, I agree. He should be. Overall, it was better than the previous Saturday night's main event. Cage match didn't really hit for me. Jesse's commentary pissed me off. I will say the Bronson Reed element helped, and the fact that Cody's back, so that's cool. I'm cool with that. But,
I popped for Cody, and I don't even really like Cody that much. So.
I know. Overall, that was a good Saturday night's main event. It was better than the last one. It wasn't as good as the first one, but welcome back.
Well, the first one at Kevin Owens, and anything Kevin Owens is on is fucking gold.
Get well soon, Kevin. We miss you.
As an in-ring wrestling show, the Saturday night's main event package, as currently constructed, isn't going to deliver a whole heck of a lot. Basically, it's an infomercial for the WWE stars and the things they are currently have going on, and it's effective. It does what it's supposed to do. It's to get WWE out to countrywide, north, basically just get it into as much homes as you can, right?
Yep.
We got some big returns and some more direction for Money in the Bank. So even if it wasn't the best in-ring show, it still did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, that's Saturday night's main event. We'll keep it pushing to the main PLE pay-per-view of the weekend, the one that mattered the most important PLE of the weekend, and that was Battleground from this past Sunday. Yeah, man, let's talk about it.
Yeah, what a great week to be a wrestling fan, man. You got Raw,
I did
NXT.
You could have said
no.
I said let's talk about it.
I usually tune you out.
Why?
Because you say stupid things like "let's talk about it."
I didn't like it. Why you tune me out? I thought we were friends. I thought we were partners in this.
What a great week to be a wrestling fan, people. Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Saturday night's main event, and now Battleground. I mean, I heard there was another show this weekend, but I don't know, something to do with nothing. But we don't waste our time on the developmental of the developmental. Will Miles Byrne have one of the quickest rises to NXT champion? Stay tuned to find out.
Damn, the developmental of the developmental. I didn't know Evolve had a pay-per-view over the weekend. I would have watched it.
Oh, sorry, the developmental of the developmental of the developmental.
AEW had a pay-per-view?
Yeah, something to do with nothing. It's not really that important.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no, man. I mean, the opening video, we get a show, major matches. Here's Will. The battle lines have been drawn. It is time for Battleground.
Opening match of the night, Sol Ruca defending the Women's North American Championship against a fiery Kalani Jordan. She looked great tonight. Mm-hmm. Just when you think you've seen it all, when you've seen the most beautiful soul snatcher you've ever seen, she goes out and does it 10 times better, 10 times crazier than she's done it before. Forget that this match was a mini banner. Whenever Sol puts away an opponent with that move, it makes her look big time. Kalani continues to improve and showed it here, while Zarya continues to feel completely irrelevant. Odds are this is setting up Ruka versus Zarya down the line, but I feel like that is a downgrade at the moment in terms of competition because Zarya has been booked as absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Zarya's a killer, and I think that booking, it's coming soon, and hopefully they really showcase her like she should be showcased. But yeah, that's gonna, dude, that fucking soul snatcher from the top rope, clean as shit. Kalani was perfect in her timing. That was the best soul snatcher so far. What else can she do? Who the fuck knows now? Do it
off the top of a cage.
I was just saying, that's stuff you steel cage. Do it off the top of the steel cage and then walk out the door.
Off the top of a Hell in a Cell through the announce table.
Yeah, that's when I know you're real. Until then, I don't want to see nothing. We get a recap of the Culling, who attacked Josh Briggs with Hanky Tank making the save, leading to their match, of course. That'll be coming up. Sean Spears gives the Culling a pep talk before their match. The team can rely on him to face a formidable challenge. We get AAA's Dalis and Chica Tormenta. They are here in attendance. They are from the, of course, women's division in AAA. TNA's Mike Santana, he is coming for the TNA World Title, so he needs to see who walks out champion tonight. For those of you that don't know who he is a proud man from the Bronx, and he wants the winner of tonight's title match, the no quarter.
He is a proud Boricua
from
the Bronx.
The no quarter catch crew come in and say they don't like these outsiders. Tavion issues a challenge for Tuesday against Santana, and Santana is down. As this is going on, there's two women in the back, and those two women are Fallon Henley and JC Jane, and they are arguing, and they're still arguing later into the night. They're just going at it. The Fatal Influence dynamic is interesting. Where is it leading? Don't know, but we will see.
Next up is a little 3-man tag team action with the Call-In, taking on the thrown together team of the tag team champions Hank and Tank with Josh Briggs. Going in this match with not a lot of high hopes and leaving an instant fan of Yoshiki Inamura is what happened here. But no, seriously, these 6 guys put on a fast-paced, action-packed match in a little under 10 minutes of ring time. This match was just a lot of fun, and the good guys come out on top, and we got their return. And I don't know why, but I popped. It was fun.
I don't know why I did either. I was with you. Because the Calling were jumping the winners, but Yoshiki returned for the save with the steel chair in his hand. Or no, Izzy Dane went to grab a steel chair, and you saw a hand pop out. Then I saw a head bend down, and I saw the mohawk, and I was like, "Oh, he's back!" Yoshiki returned, get a moment of a hug with Briggs, and that's how we roll. Ethan Page, he's ready to win the North American title on Tuesday. He will finish off Ricky Saints, he says. Ava comes in to say that the winner of that match will defend that title at Worlds Collide on June 7th. Get a recap between the build-up between Stax and Tony D'Angelo. They were leaders of that family. They grew up together, but Stax made some moves Tony didn't like, and he's going to put a stop to him. This is all leading to this. And leaving us asking still, where's Rizzo? That's what Rizzo, like we talked about NXT. I don't really care for the match. I didn't need the match. I need to know the story. They do a good job building the story, but we get the match anyway.
Yeah, and that leads us into a little family feud to take care of next. A match between the Don, Tony D'Angelo, taking on the former underboss of the family, Channing Stax Lorenzo. If there was one match on the card they could have swapped out for a proper big stage showdown between Ethan Page and Ricky Don't Call Me Trill London Saints, it was
Stop
this
doing
match.
That. Stop saying that. There's an actual fucking wrestler that has the name in the Performance Center. Trill London. It's a real guy.
Don't get me wrong. The match was perfectly fine, and Stax pulling out the victory after returning Luca Crucifino distracted Tony, or he wasn't there to distract Tony. He was just there, which was just confusing. He just stared it just leaves a lot of directions they can go in here, which is good. I mean, I really do want to see where the fuck is Rizzo is actually what I just want to know. I just think in the end they could have just done that on the CW.
Yeah.
But where the fuck is Rizzo?
Oh, totally. I guess post-match, D'Angelo gets up. Luca, he didn't want to fight or nothing. He offers a hug, but he gets shoved away and left us asking, one more time for the people back home. Where the fuck is Rizzo? All right, Luca's alive. Where the fuck is Adriana Rizzo? Post-match, obviously talked about that. We get the recap, though, of Jordan Grace challenging Stephanie Vaquer for the women's title. Vaquer is the new star in town, but Julia fell to the hands of Jordan Grace to get that title shot for herself. This is a major showdown. This was built big, so whew.
Yeah, time to buckle up because we are now entering the 3 big matches of the show. Some other companies would call it a triple main event. Thank God we don't do that here in the WWE. First up is Stephanie Vaquer defending her title against Jordan Grace. This match was booked big time. It felt big time, and these two women delivered on all accounts. One has to think that this should be it for now between Jordan and Stephanie, as she sealed the deal with a rarely used spiral tap to put Jordan down for the 3 count. As we found out later in the week, it probably is the last time these two will face for a while. I think Jordan is main roster bound sooner than later, as she deserves. We do have some competitors ready and waiting for Stephanie, and maybe it's time for Jada to shine for a minute. Again, I wrote this all before what happened yesterday. I totally threw all my fucking predictions right out the fucking window. Because I went on to say this. Still have to think Stephanie holds on to the title for a hot minute longer. It really was a hot second longer, as she is the gold standard of the stacked women's division in NXT. So, yeah, I did not call that one correctly at all. I don't think anybody did.
No.
With what happened yesterday, I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card for NXT on May 27th.
Everybody was shocked. Even JC was shocked. Mike Rome was fucking shocked. The dude sitting next to him had to be like, hey, do your fucking job. Come on, say it. Ricky Saints comes out to talk, and he is ready to face Ethan Page because he doesn't get what people see in Ethan. Thing is, Page is like that guy at the party that no one really knows why he's there, but the reality is Saints can put the title online because he knew Page's greed would get in his own way. If he has to start this week's show to beat up Page, so be it. And at Worlds Collide, Saints is ready to go to Mexico if he has to. Ethan Page comes out to jump him from behind. Saints cuts that off. Security breaks it up with Saints diving onto all of them to get at Ethan Page. Get a recap of the build to Miles Bourne and Oba Femi for the NXT title in the form of Miles having a sit-down interview in an empty arena. Bourne wasn't sure if he was ready when he came here, but he's doing as well as he ever has, and he was ready at the Battle Royal, and now he'll be ready to come after that title. He was given a 15% chance of living when he was born, but now he wants people to know about his disability so that kids who are struggling can know that nothing can hold them back. He has been fighting the odds ever since birth, and will be fighting the odds against Oba Femi, who has everything over him. The only thing Bourne has over him is heart and Stephanie Vaquer. And Stephanie.
The dude's likable. The dude is likable.
You can't hate him. Why would I hate on this guy? He's a handsome-looking guy. He's got charisma, and he's got Stephanie Vaquer.
The second and final match of the night is for that NXT World Championship with Oba Femi defending against a red-hot Miles Bourne. Sometimes you just sit there and wonder if you watch just a bit too much wrestling. I have to ask this sometimes. I had zero expectations going into this match, as it was a foregone conclusion that no way in hell Oba loses to Miles. That being said, the match started out a little slow, but once they got rolling, they put on a classic, and there were a few moments where it seemed like Miles may just pull off the unthinkable. Honestly, this may be one of the best stories NXT has put together in a while, because it had that Rocky-style story feel to it. You know, Rocky Balboa going up against Apollo Creed.
You saying that just made me go, that's how they built Tony D to beat Oba for the North American title. It works with someone like Oba. Yeah. Holy shit.
He had no business in hanging in tough with Oba, but he did. Fantastic showing here from the two, with Oba eventually needing not one, not two, but three falls from grace. Nobody's ever kicked out from a fall from grace before.
Miles did.
He kicked out, and it took three of them to put him down. The part where I was saying, if you watch a bit too much wrestling, it was after the match. Oba's walking back, and I'm like, stop, turn, nod.
Yeah.
And he did all those things, and it's just like, okay, I watched way too much of this shit.
Too much wrestling, because you saw it, the head nod. Yeah. We do cut to the back, though, where JC Jane and Falcon are still arguing, which they were arguing an hour ago, and they're still going. At the same time, Stephanie Vaquer is arguing with the two women from AAA. JC runs up to Stephanie and says, hey, Steph, and smacks the ever-loving fuck out of her. This all stems to a title match that will be taking place on NXT. We get a recap of Trick Williams challenging Joe Hendry for the TNA title, and that leads to
the main event. Next up, big time showdown, TNA versus NXT. Joe Hendry is defending his TNA World Championship against Trick the Bitch Williams. What?
Proud of you.
Well, as much as I hate the finish, they finally pulled the trigger, and the crossover between TNA and NXT is no longer mid-carders trading wins. Trick does cheat his way to a win here, and that gives plenty of reasons for a rematch. You know, maybe Slammiversary with Joe Hendry avenging his loss for his company. Did you see fucking Nick Nemeth tear a strip out of fucking Joe Hendry?
No.
Nick Nemeth went on a rant on social media saying, I can't believe he lost our title to another company. Like, I think we got to get a meeting together. backstage, get all the boys together. Time to bring back Wrestlers Court. This man lost our title to another company.
That he did.
This was far from the best match of the night, but the implications of the finish is huge moving forward. Trick was needing this win as he's been eating losses left and right lately, and winning the TNA title will cement his legacy as the top guy in NXT, even though I would definitely argue that all day.
Well, I don't think he was the top guy in NXT anymore. It's Oba. Oba's the top guy.
Yeah, but Trick Williams has pretty much done it all now.
Yeah, totally. And Trick, let's not get it twisted. Ever since he's had this character turn of a sense,
he still sucks.
His promos have gotten better as a bad guy. And I think that people have said in the past, cutting promos as a heel is way easier than cutting promos as a babyface. Because it's easy to talk shit. Everybody can naturally just talk some shit. Trick as TNA champion shocked me. In fact, Joe Hendry took a loss. Not clean. We will, put that there. I don't know if this does lead to our rematch in Joe.
Somebody should check into that ref. He laid that belt in the perfect spot.
It's almost like it was the spot. I don't know if it leads to a rematch with Joe and Joe avenging the loss, or we'll talk about it on NXT if Mike Santana's the guy to take it off of Trick.
Not that soon. That'd make no fucking sense in the world.
I'm not saying that soon, but I do probably see Joe getting it back, but I don't know. Maybe there's something coming with Joe. I don't know what his contract situation is with TNA. I know it's up maybe next year, but I think we all know Joe Hendry's coming to the WWE. That's a foregone conclusion that will happen. I said maybe they had a fair trade and Trick's now just on TNA under contract with them, and WWE now has the rights.
I mean, I'm all for it. Then I won't have to watch Trick Williams on TV.
I like Trick, but I've said it in the past that Trick hasn't changed. His in-ring hasn't gotten better. It's not bad, but he hasn't gotten better to the point where it's like, okay, it's justifiable to maybe make this guy, put him on the main roster. The switch to a heel works better for Trick because he could talk better as a heel. His babyface promos were believable for a minute, and then it kind of got dull. The woe is me, I'm Hollywood Trick works because he's good on the mic to a point, and like I said, talking shit comes naturally to some people, and he clearly comes better to him than being a babyface. And we'll see where it goes. I don't know how long he's going to hold the TNA title, but the fact that they pulled the trigger is crazy. We knew it would happen. Didn't think it would be Trick, but now we're here, and let him cook.
Still sucks. Up next, we have Raw from May 26, 2025. Saturday night's main event has come and gone.
Oh, sorry. Thought you were going to give your final thoughts on that. My bad.
No, I said my final thoughts. Trick still sucks.
That's it? That's your final thoughts? All right. My bad. Trick the bitch. All right. Go ahead.
And now we are here to deal with the fallout from that show. We had a big return in Cody Rhodes and surprise addition to the new Seth Rollins faction. One can only think it's going to be called The Vision. With a returning Bronson Reed. Think about it. I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary.
I feel like Marvel might have copyright on The Vision.
No, they have copyright on Vision. Maybe not The Vision.
That's really too technical.
Money in the Bank is only 2 weeks out, and the matches are still not set in stone. So we are here for some more qualifying matches as well tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what the faction's name is. I liked when Seth was the Monday Night Messiah, and he had Buddy Matthews with him. I forget who the other person was, but that was pretty cool. Seth's really good in a heel spot as a heel leader of a faction, or just a heel in a faction in general. We saw it over his career. Yeah, man, when it's all said and done, I kind of got to thinking about this with Seth Rollins. He's a Hall of Famer. I think we can agree on that already. But man, he's been around for a long time and he's held true. And that's a true company guy right there, Seth Rollins. That is a motherfucking company guy. And I wanted to ask a question. This is a personal opinion, of course. I'm taking Seth over Roman any day.
Nope.
I am.
No.
I
Who carried WWE through COVID? Through empty fucking arenas.
Bailey.
The Bloodline.
Yeah, I mean the Bloodline story was great. It did its thing, but I'm speaking from the fact that Roman was there. Sure, Seth almost died for this fucking place. I mean, maybe I just like Seth more than Roman. Maybe, like I said, it's personal. It's a personal choice. Rome. I don't know. Roman had a bad lull in his career that I think people are forgetting.
And then he dominated the WWE for 5 years straight.
But Seth has never had a bad lull. Really, Seth has always gotten his shit over. He's never had a moment. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's all up to booking. Oh, you know, I'm not just saying, but Seth's never really had bad character work. He's always.
I honestly did not watch Seth through the early years of his career with the Shield and all that stuff.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I've seen more from Roman in less TV time than I've seen from Seth in more TV time.
Yeah, it's fair. I think the story, like my biggest one from Seth was after he got injured and was out from the.
I will give it to Seth. He is probably Becky Lynch's best,
Oh fuck! Oh,
foot forward.
Ah, shit. Let's get into it. Saturday night's main event recap happens, of course. Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, now with Bronson Reed coming out to get things going. Paul Heyman brags about this being the future of wrestling. And these are just going to be the men who main event every WrestleMania for the future. Every WrestleMania. He says 44, 45, 46. He just goes down a run. The fans are chanting for CM Punk, who is not here tonight. That was stupid. Anyway, thanks to Bronson Reed. Paul Heyman praises Bronson for being a monster who took out CM Punk on his own at Saturday night's main event. This brings Heyman to Seth Rollins, he also puts over Braun Breaker, of course, as well as being the enforcer and the killer and the dog. Then he comes to Seth, of course, who is everything. He names himself as being the revolutionary, the visionary, Seth freaking motherfucking Rollins. Talks about how this is the vision and his vision. The fans do not like Rollins and tell him he's sold out, but he doesn't know who he sold out to. Did he sell it to himself? The fans start swearing at him, and he points that out. And he points out that 5 minutes ago they were singing his song, his entrance music, and then they were cursing him out. So they don't know what to do. Sami Zayn and CM Punk cost him the World Heavyweight Championship, but Seth has a better idea. He will qualify for the Money in the Bank briefcase and take that title whenever the hell he wants, and that is true power.
I miss the days of where a heel was a heel and the fans wanted to fight them, and all the fans hated them, and none of this wishy-washy, we hate you, we love you, we hate you, we love you, we hate you, we love you, in a 5-minute segment.
They got to get rid of his catchy theme song now. That's what got the fans going. The only one
I just miss the old school where, like, literally wrestlers, like, fans would be outside waiting for the wrestlers to fight them because they hated them so bad.
Oh, yeah, we're not in that kind of era of life anymore, I don't think. But the only one that had true heat was Dom, and then he won the IC title, and people were like, yeah, we get it. We like that.
Gunther has that heat. Gunther always have that fucking heat.
Does have that heat. You're right.
Opening match of Raw from this 26th of May episode is a qualifying match, Money in the Bank, between Penta, Dragon Lee, and Chad Gable. No real surprise in this one, with Penta coming away with the victory. It makes the most sense as he's been red hot since his debut in WWE, although I still need them to get rid of the Young Bucks being part of my favorite match of all time.
Word.
And of course, he will have some sort of crazy ass big spot moment in the match. He's going to do like a quadruple flip off the top of a ladder through 18 tables onto it's going to be wild.
He's going to get up and he's going to go, shit.
Stero Meado. The Vikingo interference on Chad Gable is the only adding some drama to his and Chad Gable's upcoming match at Worlds Collide, which I'm definitely looking forward to.
Oh,
Also, there's been social media kind of fucked up. WWE posted a picture of Chad Gable versus Vikingo at Worlds Collide, and they had a banner on there that said AAA World Championship match, which Vikingo does not have that. Alberto, mind you, Kurt's favorite world heavyweight champion, number one, Alberto Del Patron, is currently the champion in AAA. But we all know his contract is expiring soon with AAA, and I can't see any way that WWE renews that. And there is the rumors that Vikingo will have that title before Worlds Collide. Well, I'm not the one who fucking put him at number one.
No. We go to the Judgment Day Clubhouse where Roxanne Perez is giving Dominic some of his chicken nuggies, but goes to rub his shoulder, and we hear "Konnichiwa, bitch." Liv Morgan is back, and she does not like what she is seeing. Dom tries to explain himself about the Nuggets and the time change, and she's like, "It's fine. Raquel has been keeping me up to date with everything, so I'm gonna go qualify for Money in the Bank." And she leaves with Roxanne looking innocent. Very
Finn
innocent.
Balor throughout this whole thing was loving life. He is well onto his way of starting his third coup of the same fucking group.
He's the legend for this, man. Bringing Roxanne in to corrupt Dom again, even though Dom corrupts and does it to himself. And Dom does great in this spot. Yeah. And this is totally putting Liv back as a babyface when it's all said and done. She already gets fucking cheered like crazy anyway. We get a Memorial Day video narrated by Cody Rhodes. Next up is you taking this over because my Lord, R.I.P., prayers up, Lord have mercy.
Next up is the funeral procession of Akira Tozawa with Rusev reading his final eulogy. And that lasted all of about 54 seconds. Post-match, Rusev won't let go. Jessica Carr, God bless her heart, tried to save Akira, but that wasn't happening. But here's Sheamus out for the save, and we get a stare down. And I wasn't sure, are they going to hug because of their history, or are they going to go? And Rusev wants nothing to do with him for now. But we all see where this is going.
100%. Backstage, we see Burt Kreischer and Tom Segura. Tom Segura and Burt.
Remember who else was part of that faction with Rusev and Sheamus? A third person's number one favorite world heavyweight champion, I think.
Rusev, Sheamus. Oh, Wade Barrett.
There was one other person in that. Was it
Hornswoggle? It was Hornswoggle.
I think his name rhymes with El Herto.
I don't think Humberto Carrillo was a part of that faction.
That I could have sworn that there's somebody else in that group.
I don't know. Jack Swagger?
Yeah, no, I don't. That doesn't sound right.
No, I don't know either.
It was definitely it was three words, and it was very Hispanic sounding.
El Hijo Vikingo wasn't in WWE yet.
Yeah, okay. Just move on.
Yeah, we know it was Alberto Del Rio, you son of a bitch. All right, comedians Burt Kreischer and Tom Segura are promoting their new shows on Netflix. Burt's stand-up special is running. And Tom Segura's Bad Thoughts 13-minute episode, 6-episode show. Go watch. Kids don't watch it. I don't know why we're putting that over for the children.
No, that's 18 plus all the way. But really, honestly, we're pretty much an 18 plus podcast. If kids listen to us, ignore the parts where we.
I'm not talking about us. That was on Netflix. People watch Raw with their kids.
Oh yeah, no, definitely don't. Yeah, don't go watch that. I mean, as a kid, I probably would have watched that. I was very not watched as a kid. We'll get that into another time. But nonetheless, that show is a weird show because when you first watch it, you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? But then as you think about it more after you watch it, you're like, that show was fucking hilarious. Hilarious.
It was hilarious. It started out hilarious. Then it got dark, but then it had it was crazy. Anyway, Bert runs away.
The gym. The more I think about the gym episode, I laugh more and more every time.
So Bert runs away and tells Tom to put over his special. And they run into the War Raiders, and Bert's like, "Hey, look, it's us, but opposite." And Bert has his shirt off, and they're doing the war chant. And Bert gets a nice little chop to his already sunburnt the fuck chest. It is like, yeah, that hurt. That clearly fucking hurt. And by the way, Tom Segura has said some things about WWE in the past, but he's a fan now apparently. Sami Zayn is upset, but Jey Uso comes in and tells me, "Go win Money in the Bank, Sammy." They get their nice little anyway. So handshakes, of course, and that'll be happening later. Sami Zayn in a qualifier match.
A little triple threat tag team action is next with the War Raiders defending their World Tag Team Championships against the New Day and the Creed Brothers. It's really kind of crazy to think that the SmackDown Tag Division is red hot and the Raw Tag Team Division is ice cold. It's crazy. It's such a stark contrast. I honestly would be fine never seeing the New Day wrestle the War Raiders ever again. The Creed brothers continue to be cannon fodder in the division, which is unfortunate because the two can go. That Brutus ball off the top rope was crazy. Typical finish though in a New Day tag match with them cheating to get the win. And yeah, there's literally nowhere to go in the division right now, and it's boring as all hell.
Yeah, they need something to pick them up. They need a tag team to show up and help spark that. So, if they want to get Rey Fenix over to Raw to team up with Penta and then maybe bring a Fraxium over and let Fraxium and the Lucha Bros go at it, I'm cool with that. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, they run into Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Morgan is making fun of both of them. And Kairi's like, "You know what? Fuck you. Let's have a match later." And Liv's like, "Bet, you're on." Jey Uso comes out to talk to the people. Uso recaps, what happened recently, and he gets cut off by Gunther. Gunther wastes no time, of course, congratulating the Usos. They've been in the WWE for 15 years. Congratulating Jey, of course, on his first successful title defense as well. Gunther did not expect Uso to hold the title this long. Uso's long-term plan seems to be to take care of his friends at any moment's notice, which is a great thing for a friend, but terrible idea for a champion, says Gunther. The reality is that Uso may not be smart enough to get what it takes to keep that title. You don't got it, is what Gunther says. That's why Gunther is going to relieve him of his duties as champion. Jey says that's enough because he is tired of everyone saying his days are numbered. In 2 weeks, Jey is going to fight for the people's support, and he's going to keep his title. Cody Rhodes has a new podcast, says Michael Cole. It's a new season, by the way, not a new podcast. He's done this show before. The first guest is his wife, Brandy Rhodes. I have saw clips. I have not listened to the full episode. I was going to today, but I did not find the time. Apparently, they had good little combos. They talked about the exit from AEW being very Dark Knight-esque, apparently, is what a word was used. But they didn't really hark on AEW very, very much. That is going all in my ears.
Sorry. My bad. I thought it was still muted. I'm sorry, people. I'll just fucking...
Yeah, that's what it was.
There's just fluff on my mic, and it's kind of pissing me off. OCD is kicking in. I'm really sorry about that. That probably sounded horrible. We have the returning Liv Morgan taking on Kairi Sane in the next match of the evening. A little redemption here for Kairi Sane after she ended up having to take the pin last week in a return to action. That's all secondary, though, to the fact that a little beef between Raquel and Roxanne cost Liv the match. I mean, come on. Finn Balor, the mastermind behind all this, is literally staging that coup that I talked about. And I'm all here for it, man. Finn Balor is just devious.
Roxanne didn't do anything wrong here. She showed up and
she was trying to help. But Raquel said you were helping yourself. You were helping yourself. You were helping yourself.
I think Raquel's getting a little jealous of Roxanne trying to butt in. Or she's standing up for a friend. I don't really know. But Dom can't keep getting away with this. Anyway, Rhea Ripley is ready to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, which, by the way, will be her first ever ladder match. Kind of crazy thought. Wild. Liv Morgan is shown yelling at Roxanne Perez and blames Raquel as well with this whole situation. Once again, Finn Balor, shit-eating grin, loving every second of the implosion inside of this group that he, as you have said, has turned over and over again, getting people up out of there. Lyra Valkyria comes out to talk to the people. She wishes she was here to talk about new competition, but Becky Lynch has whined and complained and gotten another shot at the Women's Intercontinental title. Normally, Lyra beats someone between the ropes and moves on, but Becky came out here with her ego all held high and acted like she won the match. She's like a rat with a piece of cheese, and Valkyria could not let her do it. Lyra is ready to hurt her at Money in the Bank, but Becky, of course, comes out looking a bit stunned and very comfortable, by the way. Becky was like in like just some chill clothes, just coming out to be like, bro, you said my name? Becky just cannot believe that Lyra claimed Lynch is the one who made this personal. Yeah, Becky made it personal right here. The reality is that after Backlash, Lynch went home with her hot husband, Seth Rollins, and Lyra went to the hospital with her fiance, her weird-looking fiance at that. Then Lyra calls Lynch's husband the best thing about her. She said,
that.
I think Lyra goes, your hot husband? Yeah. Seth's the best thing about it. I was like, damn. Becky says she made Lyra what she is today, and Lyra doesn't like that because people are still talking about her for her win at Backlash. Becky has to calm herself down and offer a stipulation. If Lyra beats her, she can never challenge for the Intercontinental title again.
Okay, Cody.
Lyra says that's fine because she can beat Lynch at Backlash. She beat Lynch at Backlash with her eyes closed. Becky wasn't done, though, because she wants Lyra to raise her hand if she wins. I'm like, all right, that's fine with Lyra, who will always raise the hand of someone who beats her. That just hasn't been Becky yet. Lyra is trying, Lyra was kind of cooking. Lyra was cooking. Lyra was doing her thing. She stumbled a little bit, but she was cooking. The stipulation makes me think Becky wins.
I gotta think Becky does win. But maybe this is just the ultimate put over of Lyra to get her really over.
This harkens
maybe
back
maybe
to...
Becky is trying to drop that Becky Hogan moniker. Who knows?
I don't know. I think this goes back to you saying we watch a little bit too much wrestling. Even though,
I don't know, this is one of, because I thought Becky was going to beat her at Backlash. So
true. And you mentioned Cody, because Cody did the thing with the AEW World Title and said he would never challenge it for again if he lost. And everybody said, "Oh shit, Cody's winning the AEW title." He didn't. He lost. So you never know where they could go with this. Karrion Kross is with Scarlett, and they stop Sammy, who is just like, "I got no time for your shit, Karrion. All right, just leave me the fuck alone." And Kross is like, "You know you can't win the title." Sammy's like, "Oh, you motherfucker, I'll be back. I got you, bro. I'll be back. I'll deal with you later." And then you see New Day in the back talking to Grayson Waller as well. That's been a reoccurring thing in the background. New Day is all buddy-buddy with Grayson. You don't see Austin Theory in this too, so it makes it, interesting. And then we get a rundown for the current state of Money in the Bank in that card that is coming up on June 8th. No, June 2nd. I apologize.
For the main event tonight, we have a Money in the Bank qualifying match. We got three big names in this match. We got Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, and Finn Balor taking to the ring. It's always like with the three names, like any one of these could really win the match. Like when you really think about it, break it down. And that gives you options for the winner in the match, which makes the match feel higher stakes, which is always a good thing. In the end, though, Seth Rollins winning gets him one step closer to taking total control over the WWE. I find it hard to believe he'll win the Money in the Bank match, as there are so many people trying to stop him from doing exactly that and gaining his power. But I would not be surprised if he does win it either. I mean, there's a lot of ways the story can go, and they got something. They're cooking with this. Post-match, CM Punk runs in for the GTS to Rollins, with Reed and Breaker chasing him off to end the show. CM Punk wasn't here tonight.
He showed up at the end, hit a sneaky GTS, and dipped. good Raw. I liked it. It building towards my third favorite pay-per-view that WWE puts on. Money in the Bank. I mean, WrestleMania is one, Royal Rumble, and then I really, really like Money in the Bank. I love the stipulation. It's always good matches. Yeah, it's a good Raw. And the highlight to me is just the Judgment Day story. It's awesome. It's funny. It's hilarious. And yeah, we got to. Dom can't keep getting away with this, man. He's got to be put to a stop at some point.
I
And
don't think
he will.
I don't think
he will.
I don't know.
Liv's probably going to get a nice face turn after all this. And Dom's going to end up with Roxanne President. Now, like, what are we doing? Jesus Christ, Dom. Who's next? Plot twist, he ends up with Raquel. And Carlito leaves the Judgment Day because he's pissed.
You've gone too far. Good Raw here with a clearer vision of the Money in the Bank ladder matches coming together. It's usually tough to get through all the qualifiers, but so far, the in-between storylines have been keeping it very interesting. The tag team division needs a major shot in the arm, as anything to do with it is major snooze fest. Like, so boring. I do not want to see the New Day face the Viking Raiders for the 17th time. Big takeaway though, I cannot wait for Money in the Bank this year, man. The ladder matches are shaping up to be absolute bangers.
Mm-hmm. They normally deliver, man. All right, man. We got one to go. We got one to go on the loaded show. Bars.
Just a wild banner of a fucking NXT out of nowhere here.
So I want to add, we were watching Raw. We were watching it on catch up a day after we watched Raw and then NXT. And RK, we stay off social media because we don't like spoils, of course. But RK did open his phone. He didn't see any spoils. All he saw was, what did you see? Like, must see TV.
The most wildest NXT you'll ever see.
Yeah.
The most wildest NXT you'll ever see on a Tuesday night without it being like a pay-per-view or some shit.
Yeah, that's when we were almost done with Raw, and it was like, all right, let's get this shit over with. What the fuck are they doing? What are we cooking here? And as you said, damn.
Yeah, final show of our Super Show is here with NXT emanating from the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. Battleground just happened, and we have a new TNA World Champion in one Trick the Bitch Williams.
Let's talk about it.
We are on. Oh shit! You said it again. We are on a rather long road to the NXT Great American Bash, assuming they don't slip a special in sometime during June. That could either be a good thing or a bad thing with so much time to set stuff up. The action will kick off right away with the North American Championship match between the challenging Ethan All Ego Page and champion Ricky, don't call me Trill London Saints.
Just take it away. What an NXT.
Yeah, so I mean, right off the hop, right into the action. Ricky Saints said last week that he wants to defend the title against superstars from the main rosters of Raw and SmackDown. But first, he will have to take care of Ethan Page for that to happen. And they waste absolutely no time in getting to it, as they say, fuck it to the introductions.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I want
to say, this is how you know they got right to it. I stood up. I was like, oh, they're doing their entrances, all that shit. I'm going to grab a snack real quick. I got AirPods in. And all of a sudden, I just hear, oh. I'm like, fuck. They're fighting. Fuck.
What did you hear?
Yeah, I'm not doing that again.
This was an absolute brawl to start, and they never dialed it down. Never a bad thing to start off your show with a banner, and these two delivered. I guess Ricky won't be defending the title against main roster talent anytime soon, but I'm pretty sure he's moving on to bigger things anyways. Page getting the win here will boost him back up, and adding an NXT champion to the lineage of the NA title is a smart move. What a hell of a match. And a surprise. I did not have Ethan Page winning this match.
No, the chair spot is what's really sticking out all the way, of course.
The twisted grin onto the open upside down.
Yeah. Jesus. Set the tone for the match. Ethan Page is attacking the throat area. Just
like I said, him. Ricky Saints was channeling Ricky Steamboat Dragon. I don't know if you know the match I'm talking about, but Ricky Steamboat had a very similar match where he was selling the
we see Fatal Influence, of course. They're continuing to gripe at each other. Jasmine Nix is back as well with the girls, but JC and Fallon are still going at it. JC is set
Oh
to
yeah,
face,
she was there with the girls. That's for sure.
Yeah, she was. JC is set to face Stephanie McCourt in the main event for the NXT Women's title later in the show. We get a highlight of TNA's Mike Santana, who is making his NXT in-ring debut here in just a second. We'll talk about that. Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura are glad to be back together, and they want the tag team titles, but Inamura keeps saying, bigger. Think bigger. And I'm like, all right, Inamura, what the fuck you talking about? But all right, Briggs just is happy you're back, bro. Go win the tag titles. I don't know.
Mike Santana, Tavian Heights next with they have to follow one hell of a match. Mike Santana has one of the most important things you can have in wrestling, an absolute fire in his eyes to be the best. You look at that man, and you're like, that dude is going places.
Yeah.
You look at Santana, you can just see that he is destined to be a big deal. One hell of a debut for him on the WWE platform with the win, and it's only going to be up for him in the future. Unfortunately, with that, Tavian Heights gets a little overlooked in this match, but you have to remember it takes two people to make a good match, and Tavian Heights has a bright future too.
Yeah, Santana's only 34 years old, so he's not. He's in the prime, really prime age to ball out. So
if this was the 90s, he's done. But
Right.
now wrestlers are into their mid 40s, late 40s.
yeah,
So
no, he's fucking good. The high rise is West.
which actually brings up a very good point. Have you ever noticed like that whole thing where you look at your parents' like yearbooks in high school and they look like they're 50?
Yeah, it's weird. And I look at high school yearbooks now, and I'm like, whoa, what? Y'all look 12 still. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The high rise, the team of Wesley, Tyson, DuPont, and Tyreek Igwe, they're ready to take over. Andre Chase is telling his students, he's trying to give them a lesson here, to take risk, but be calculated. And all these two fucking idiots here is, oh, you want us to take risks? All right, bet. Ava, we want a match. She's like, yeah, all right. Yeah, actually, I have a spot open next week. You got a match against Dark State.
But there's four of them. There's only two of us.
No. There's three of you. And Andre Chase is like, we're not a tag team. He's Andre's. He had it good with Thea, Riley, and Duke. He's got to build this team up. He's got to get them right. Tony D is shown yelling at Luca Crucifino about what he did and didn't do at Battleground. Luca says Stacks let him go, and he was scared of what would happen if he reached out. Tony is not buying a single thing that Luca is saying here, and neither was I. He's like, you can trust me. Tony's like, I can't trust anybody. And I will say, once again, on record, where the fuck is Rizzo? All right,
where's Rizzo?
Where is Rizzo? Here comes the TNA World Champion, Trick Williams, to come out. Brags about being
the first. You didn't say it right.
Trick the bitch Williams, just for you. He brags about being the first NXT star to be the TNA World Champion, but he doesn't want to hear those cheers. No. You people turned on me the same way we were cheering for Average Joe. He's on his way to TNA to defend the title, which has been held by names such as Kurt Angle, Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, but none of them are as good as Trick Williams, and that's when
Smojo's Christopher Daniels. They should have just went through all the AEW fucking stars.
They're all better than him. Nick Aldis was fucking probably a better champion than him. Now he's turning his back on the fans because they turned their backs on him, but interrupted by the proud Boricua from the Bronx, Mike Santana, which Trick calls a mistake. Santana is not listening to this because TNA is on a roll, and Trick isn't ruining that. Santana calls Williams a pretend rapper and a pretend champion who has never dealt with someone like him. Fight is teased, but Santino Marella appears on the board to say, hey, y'all got a match for that title next week. And it will be on TNA, or I'm sorry, on NXT TV. Trick is not interested, of course, in shaking hands with Santana. He dips, he goes to fight him, drops the title. Santana holds the belt high, though, which we had the conversation. You're like, well, he's TNA. Like, yeah, but he's never won TNA title. But yeah, anyway, TNA.
Want to see something crazy?
Something
crazy? This just seems wild to me.
What are we doing here? That is crazy, actually.
That is TNA's website.
That's just insane to look at right now.
It just seems crazy. Doesn't that seem crazy? That's crazy.
He's TNA World Champion.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna have a match next week on NXT. Mike Santana, Trick Williams for TNA title. Don't think the title switches hands that quick, but it could. It could if they just want to say, "Here, go. Let's keep pushing." But no, I don't think so. I think they're gonna let him do his thing. Yeah. Where am I at? I accidentally hit a button because I was trying to put us back. There we go. Ava is talking to Stephanie McCord and says, "Hey, just a heads up, Worlds Collide, you're going to be in a tag match against those two girls from AAA that were interrupted and talking shit at Battleground." That's what she said word for word. And then Lola Vice, of course, shows up to keep brown nosing Stephanie McCare.
Holy
like,
fuck, spit that thing out, Lola. Jesus Christ.
Man. She's just all up on her. Like, I got you. That may be a turn coming. I don't know. Maybe Lola's going to challenge Stephanie for the NXT Women's. Yeah, what's the next match?
Yeah, up next is the continuing crash out of Tatum Paxley, taking on Jada Parker. Not really sure where they're going with Paxley here, as you know, she takes another loss in this match, but it's gonna be interesting. I think they got something planned for this. It's gonna be maybe a redemption story. Who knows? But she comes out with the dolls of all her friends that she has lost. That's really disturbing. Parker with a win continues to make her look strong and building her way to being a player in the main title picture sooner than later. But post-match, everybody's favorite, Thea Hale, runs into, "Hey, bitch, you fucking get, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, woman."
Uh-huh. Yeah, building onto that rivalry there. We get a video, hype it up. Jasper Troy, who is making his in-ring debut.
Yeah, and his opponent in the next match is this guy's still on the roster, Dante Chen. I guess I see why Dante Chen still does a good job because he can be thrown into a match to make an opponent look good, and that's exactly what he does here. He gets enough offense in to challenge the newcomer Jasper Troy, but not enough to make him look weak. Troy is already mixing things up by getting into things with Oba Femi, and I'm here for it as Jasper. He looks like a guy that can actually physically challenge Oba. Post-match, Oba Femi pops up on the platform saying that Troy's 5 minutes of fame are already over because he now has the Rula's attention.
Yeah, he does. Good luck, Jasper. Those are two big boys that are going to go at it.
Those are two big boys. That's no bread. That's no water. That's all meat.
That's just me, man. I love it. Charlie Dempsey is mocking Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights for their losses, saying, "All right, time to regroup here, boys." Miles is like, "Nah, I don't want to take a step back. I showed I belong. And you know what? Face me next week. I beat you. You give me my freedom." And it's going to be a rounds match. Miles versus Charlie next week on NXT. Rounds match. If Miles beats Charlie, he's going solo. Ethan Page comes out to celebrate his title win. This one shit.
Speaking of rounds matches, what the fuck happened in Noam Dar?
He's chilling. Ethan Page celebrated his title win. This is where shit really just got crazy, and it gets crazier after this. Don't worry. Javon Evans interrupts, and he's like, "Hey, good win. You're defending that at Worlds Collide, and you're defending that against me." And this guy, Triple A's Laredo fucking Kid, is on NXT TV.
Triple A's cruiserweight champion.
Cruiserweight champion Laredo Kid is coming down for the title, and Ethan's like, "Ah, shit." And Javon goes, "Oh, by the way, there's one more person. Fucking Ray Phoenix is in this match. It's a fatal 4-way for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page will be defending against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and fucking Ray Phoenix." Huh?
Yeah, I can't believe that happened.
Just
let alone
insane.
Laredo Kid, but then Ray fucking Phoenix.
They got NXT, obviously, champion and Javon, AAA representative, and main roster. It's crazy. Anyway, in their office, you see Ava with Robert Stone and Stevie. And Ava also announces that because Stevie's like, "Hey, just heads up, my guy, on Evolve, Sean Legacy, and Ava's like, "Don't worry, he gets his title shot against the winner of that Fatal 4-Way so we can have a singles match." Cool. Tatum Paxley is freaking out. The crash out carries on after her loss. She runs into Sol and Zarya, who are comforting her, and they're like, hey, if you ever need us, we're here, but take your time. And then in the back, the culling is just watching this unfold. You keep your fucking hands off Tatum Paxley, Sean. No. No. No.
It makes sense. It makes sense, though. Sean Spears, it's kind of like a cult. You know,
Yeah.
you prey on the weak to get them to buy into
Manipulate
your
her.
shit. You know,
Fucking manipulate her into it. Yeah.
like I said, I'm interested to see where this all goes because I think Tatum has a
She's
future
good.
in the business. So
She's good.
I want to see where this goes.
Oh, shit.
Main event, NXT Women's Championship. Stephanie Vaquer is defending against JC Jane. That happened. It happened. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been an advocate for JC Jane for a long time, but she beats Stephanie. She's the NXT Women's World Champion.
Fully clean though. Little assist from Fallon on that. So it's not
She
clean,
beat Stephanie Vaquer. JC Jane.
but she did beat Stephanie Vaquer with the rolling encore of the elbow. I mean, little help though. Little help from Fallon.
I mean, if it's because Stephanie's moving up the main roster, then great, but complete surprise. And I mean, if it is because Stephanie's moving up the main roster, why not Jordan Grace at Battleground? Unless Jordan's going up the main roster too. Who knows what the fuck's going on? But I mean, JC Jane, it's a big deal for her to win. She deserves it. I mean, she's been there for 4 years, was part of one of the biggest factions in NXT's history. And she's finally getting her flowers for putting in all that, just being the go-to. JC Jane is there. You need her to do this. You need her to do that. She's there for the company, and she did it. 4 years dedicated to the company, and now she gets the championship. Bravo. Yep. I'm happy for her. And this opens up the door. This actually opens up the door in the women's championship division better than Stephanie holding it, because you're like, Stephanie's just too fucking good.
Right.
Like, now you got JC there. It's just like, Jada Parker, Fallon Henley, like all Zarya. I mean, all these people are going to get like legit shots at the championship now, where it's just like, you're going up against Stephanie, you're going up against Jordan. If she was champion, you're probably losing.
And what helps is these girls can go up against JC, and they may not beat JC because of shenanigans due to fatal influence, but they'll put on a good showing. But also, it does, like you said, it opens the door. You can hot potato this fucking NXT championship. Give all the girls a rub with it. And that's what I was alluding to earlier about Zarya, is now that I think Stephanie's going to the main roster and Jordan's to the main roster, now you can give Zarya that spotlight, and maybe eventually she ends up and goes on a monster run. I don't know. But I'm still like, whoa.
The only thing that makes this whole thing dumb if Stephanie's on the main roster soon.
Totally.
But I can't see that not happening because Julia's gone up. Roxanne's gone up. I feel like Roxanne, well, she made her time, but Julia, the big thing, going up right away, basically. And if Stephanie wasn't brought up right away, maybe that's a bit of a slight towards her, because Stephanie's technically already done more in NXT than Julia ever did.
And I think, looking back, Stephanie showed up like 2 weeks in a row on Raw. I think that was them testing the situation. Let's see what the crowd reaction is.
The reaction.
Right. And over. She's over as shit.
And the fact that she'll forever have a move that gets the crowds to go, ah.
All I know is Booker T didn't know how to feel, because he loves JC. He puts JC over, and obviously he puts Stephanie over. And now he was a little bit confused, but he's also going to be pissed if Stephanie goes to the main roster, because he can't do the thing no more. But don't worry. You fucking got it over with the crowd.
the fans will be doing it every time. Stephanie belongs in front of thousands of people every week. She simply does. She's that good. Everett was shocked, though. I was shocked. You were shocked. Mike Rome was so stunned he didn't even know what the fuck to say.
JC was shocked. JC was fucking shocked. At first, she's like, and then that shit-eating smile. I'm like, shit. Yeah, Mike Rome.
Well, this fun. That's not too often that you get two big time surprises in one show.
3. I'm including the fucking announcement for the Fatal 4-Way match in this.
Oh yeah, true. That was out of nowhere too. Like you could tell that they built this show for.
Well, yep.
They built this show for the arena, for the Yinlin Center, and the ticket sales just weren't there. And fuck all y'all, you should have bought those tickets because that in a big arena would have been.
Well, the Ethan win would have been. It probably would have got cheered. JC winning, the crowd would have been silent. It would have been silence.
Would have been complete confusion. Complete confusion.
This was it NXT better than Battleground, I think, based on the sheer surprises that happened.
This is probably NXT's best show of the year.
I'm inclined to agree. I can't remember one that stands out this year to me, but yeah, man, this episode cooked. I don't know where the fuck we go from here. Mike Santana debuted on WWE television, a dream of his. Good for him.
Jasper Troy, fresh out of LFG.
Jasper Troy's a dog. Him and Oba are gonna make magic, hopefully, in the ring, with just being mate. And Miles Bourne maybe pulling away from No Quarter Catch Crew to build his stardom. And yeah, JC Jane, what does this mean for Fatal Influence? What happens? And the fact that you have to change that graphic at the bottom with not just one, but 2 people. And it's not from a PLE. It's from a Tuesday night NXT.
You know the power JC Jane has over Fallon Henley now? Fallon Henley hasn't been fucking NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah, because, well, Fallon was rubbing in. I've been North American champion. I beat Stephanie. Or no, she beat. Who'd she beat? She beat Kalani, right? Yeah, she beat Kalani, and then Stephanie beat Fallon. But anyway, yeah, she was rubbing the North American title at her face. And now JC's like, all right, I got that big one, though. What you got to say about that now? NXT is about to cook. They're cooking.
Yeah, man. I mean, wild change in the landscape of NXT. Mike Santana, TNA star, getting the world title shot. Yeah. I mean, granted, it's for his own company's title. The LFG winner going straight after Oba fucking Femi. Ethan Page beating Ricky, Don't Call Me Troll, London Saints. The title change, JC Jane winning. Like, fuck all y'all that don't like JC Jane as your champion. She's a dog, man. I'm just so curious to see where this all goes. I mean, it's NXT is different just in one night. It's different.
The landscape has fucking changed in NXT, and all it took was one night to do it. Absolutely insane. What a wild week and a couple days of wrestling we just talked about. So there's a lot of stuff for people to pick out. RK, what was your show from the shows we reviewed this past
NXT episode? From May 27th.
I can't argue with you. Like, what? Like, duh. That's the only show. Are you kidding me? That's clearly the show of the week. But it does raise the question of who your wrestler of the week was, though.
JC Jane.
I knew you were going to go JC, and I was thinking JC, but I'm
Go back through 52 of our episodes. And count the amount of times I've said JC Jane is legit.
Totally. I've never disagreed with you. I think JC's awesome. I love JC. But my wrestler of the week, I'm going with Sol Ruka because she hit the greatest Soul Snatcher I've ever seen in my life. That Soul Snatcher was insane. But I think special shout out has to be said for fucking JC Jane. She deserves every second of this. Man, 4 years in the making. Good for her. Hopefully it's not a quick title, run. Hopefully she holds it for a minute. Maybe she's going to hold it and put over. I don't know. We'll see. But good for JC. That was awesome. And NXT and battle. That's not a slight to Battleground. Like, I think if that NXT doesn't transpire how it did, I probably would have said Battleground was my show of the week because I liked all the matches.
I would have been a toss up between Battleground and SmackDown for me.
Ooh, SmackDown was good too. It's hard not to Raw. I like Raw for the stories they're telling because the matches are but goddamn, the stories are compelling. But yeah, NXT last night completely blew everything out of the fucking water. So yeah, that's that, man. Episode 53, super episode, super show. It was fun.
Honestly, we
Good
should
talking.
count the amount of times we picked NXT as show of the week this year, and honestly,
They
we just
win,
give Shawn
yeah.
Michaels fucking Booker of the Year already.
Yeah, it's already set in stone. It's already set in stone. I'll get the award plaque. I'll get the plaque printed. I'll send it to him. Or he can come meet me here. I don't know. It's up to him. I'll figure it out. Anyway, yeah, that's it, man. Episode 53. We're rolling through with this week of wrestling. Coming up this weekend is nothing really crazy. Just normal wrestling. Friday Night SmackDown, of course. I think
We're gonna have to come up with something to talk about on Sunday because we're only gonna have like one fucking show.
We hinted at maybe checking out what's up with TNA and see what the first episode of Trick being world champion is tomorrow. See if there's any. I mean, I know you don't like Trick, but just see what the fuck they do and how they book that is an interesting thing. And maybe catch up on what's going on with TNA and see where they're at. I know TNA Under Siege is coming up, and I know they're going to build for that. That's their next event. Other than that, there's nothing really going on in the landscape. I think there is something coming on New Japan. Let me double check one time. I thought there was some, or maybe I was looking at the wrong date.
I thought you already double checked that at the start of the show.
No, there is something, but there's nothing announced for it. June 1st for New Japan Pro Wrestling is the final of the New Japan's Best of the Super Juniors. That is June 1st. So maybe we could maybe we can take a look at that. But other than that, nothing really crazy going on in the wrestling landscape. Next weekend though is Money in the Bank, I think. So we'll talk about that. Maybe we preview, get into more Money in the Bank conversation. Who knows? We'll figure something out. We'll have fun this weekend. With that being said, though, any final thoughts from you, Arcade?
No, I don't really have. I mean, it's after NXT last night. It's really hard to fucking really like. What a way to cap off an entire week of wrestling. But
yeah,
Money in the Bank, man, it's really shaping up to probably. It could be one of the better Money in the Banks of all time. The way it's shaping up so far.
I'll tell you what. Maybe that's what we do. We will watch Money in the Banks, and then we'll rank our favorites. How about that? Maybe we can do that for the Sunday. Just an idea.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'll get a list together of like a Money in the Bank matches usually around
just the matches.
Minutes. Yeah, just not the whole shows. And then maybe we'll watch like. Yeah, we could do that. We could do like the 5 best women's Money in the Bank matches and the 5 best men's Money in the Bank matches.
That's something to do. Put that together, and we can do that on Sunday.
That's like 4 hours of wrestling there.
There you go. Boom. Yeah. There we go. On the fly, figuring it out. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to episode number 53 of This Week in Wrestling. My name is Kurt. That is RK. We are the Top Rope Renegades, and we will talk to you guys next time.
This Week in Wrestling, hosted by Kurt and RK.